Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, powered by NZXT, episode 802. Welcome to, God's favorite gaming podcast. That's right. We finally gained that distinction. I am your host, Jan Ochoa. I'll be the blue turtle that some people have problems with, but you got to keep me around anyway because I keep the pipes running. And I'm just chilling in the sewers. We got co-captain of the ship, expert newsman, our own April O'Neil, and you know you'd love to see him in a yellow jumpsuit, Jeff Grubb.
I mean, for audio listeners, who's to say I'm not already wearing one? And just shout out to the Pope for that honor, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Yes. We didn't specify which god. It could be one or all of them, you know?
Yes, Shiva, the destroyer of worlds, got done with Oppenheimer, picked us next.
This is actually the only thing they agree on.
Yes,
exactly. I'm gonna ask if we could I'm gonna ask him if we can put this on a shirt. He'll give me a face. It's like, I don't know, Jan, but we'll do it anyway. The Casey
the
Jones
model will do it anyway.
Oh, that's so good. We'll do it anyway. The Casey Jones of the team, Jeff Backlar.
Hey, that's me. Casey Jones is my spirit animal. I'm really proud for that comparison. So thank you, Jan.
He likes hockey. You like hockey, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure if he likes hockey. He just prefers a stick as a weapon.
It's one of the tools in his toolbox.
Yeah,
hockey.
in his golf bag, I believe, is how he fashions his collection of weapons. But I have a really deep cut about Casey Jones and Ninja Turtles, but let's introduce our special guest before we get to it.
All right. We have our dearest friend, our special friend, the Outback Steakhouse of Games Media, Bailey Meyers.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that one was me.
Yes.
That's great.
It had to be. There was no one. Oh, look at that.
It is proof.
Jeff Backlar's holding up a Casey Jones mask in a box right now.
Yeah, you're supposed to take this out, I would imagine, at some point, but...
Well, just to scare your children at night when you go to visit them.
Yeah, imagine just waking up your child wearing this mask and nothing else.
Exactly.
Like, we gotta go!
Get into the woods! We're going! Yeah, that's how my family treated me, for sure.
You know what? Actually, I take the Outback Steakhouse of Games Media. I take that back, Bailey. I'm sorry. You are...
I've never even been to Australia. To be fair, neither has Outback Steakhouse. Hey-o.
That's true.
Okay, next time we're in LA, not only do we have to go to Buca de Beppo to get a fun photo together, but we also have to go to an Outback Steakhouse.
Let's go. I'm so excited. I don't like Outback that much, but I'm excited.
Let's get a blooming onion.
But Bailey, as the as the site's dearest friend, you are also my nemesis. So I think you are like the shredder of Giant Bomb.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, that works for me.
Especially if you're Leonardo and she's Shred, that makes a lot of sense. The way you guys were just ribbing each other,
cussing each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing stuff at each other.
But they're like besties on the side.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It makes sense to me.
As soon as the cameras are off and everything.
The Turtles do need to curse more. I gotta say, for a bunch of 14 to 16-year-olds, they should be dropping like MF for a bunch more than they do.
They're good kids.
The problem is that they would say like the bad ones.
Okay,
like they would say the R word and stuff. We can't have that.
They would.
14-year-olds.
I don't think 14-year-olds say that now.
Not today.
I hope so. I hope that the people I see say that on the internet are actually like 45. that somehow makes me feel a lot better than if they're 14.
Not to relitigate old turtle talk and old stuff that Jeff Backlar has odd opinions on. But Bailey, do you see Splinter as the Turtles' father?
In the new movie, yes.
Wait, what?
Ooh, go on.
Wait,
oh my God.
Oh no.
No, maybe Bailey's got some points. Maybe Bailey's done a lot of her own research.
Do you want to hear from George from Florida again? Because I don't.
I don't know how to say this. I don't have an emotional association with the 80s Turtles. That was just not something I grew up on.
That's sure.
I didn't
If
I didn't have
take,
the VHS tapes. So as far as I'm concerned, the new movie is all that matters with Turtles.
Well,
and
let's not get crazy here.
So wait, so if they had the same dynamic in the cartoon, would you then consider Splinter to be their father? It's the same dynamic in the cartoon.
100%. He's their dad.
He's got much more
Interesting
dad
background.
vibes in the Rogan movie than he did in the cartoons, from my
Sure.
position.
Sure.
I think he was more
Yeah.
of like a roommate in the cartoons, right? He's more like a rat roommate, if you will.
Or he's like an unlockable character in the
No.
video game you're playing.
And
but like in
also-
the movie, he's a dad and he's a good dad.
He's such a dad. Oh my god. He's hilarious. He's probably the funniest one in the movie too.
He's so good.
Yes.
So good.
yeah.
Where was Casey Jones? I just like to say.
Hey,
No,
I've
we're
been
talking about
asking,
Casey fucking
where
Jones.
has Kino been
Well-
since TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze? All right.
All right, Jan. Look, as much as I love Kino, I kind of think if we're like doing a tier of like missing cameos,
Oh,
I do
I'll be
think,
on this
aside
forever.
from there's
we-
a clear number one, but that kind of gets resolved.
The little Japanese kid from 3?
3. I've only seen 3 once.
Yoshi? Everyone's favorite character? Or
Everyone?
Yojimbo the rabbit? Huh?
Now that would be
Hmm.
cool. I would take
Hmm.
that.
I forgot where we're going. I apologize.
No.
Oh, I was
going
gonna make a weird deep cut comparison.
Please, cut away. Cut away.
So I'm a big Cowboy Bebop expert, as everyone knows now.
Cowboy Bebop.
Now.
It's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. I've seen 7 episodes of it, and it's amazing. It's totally redefined who I am as a person.
Recently.
Live my life by that anime.
He's going to be insufferable when he finally watches Fooly Cooley, but I can't wait for it.
I don't know what that
God,
is.
that's gonna change him in a way that I don't think.
Is
we're
that
ready
an
for.
anime? Is that
Yes.
anime?
Yes.
it is.
Whatever.
He-
It doesn't.
It's like 4 episodes.
Okay.
Backlar
Doesn't
is
even
going to be
register.
changed, though, once he eventually watches Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Nah.
and then he meets Roy Mustang. He's going to be changed.
God, as soon as he gets into review Starlight, it's all over for you nerds.
No.
You guys are all bringing
Sorry,
up
that
shows.
was such a deep cut that I'm confident none of you three
No,
have even heard.
I
of.
just politely
I went
nodded
to a
my
special
head.
place far away
Yeah.
from this podcast. Yeah.
The funny thing about Cowboy Bebop is that I was afforded every opportunity as a college student in like 2000 to 2005.
Your timeline
4.
lines up so
Yeah.
much with you should have just been like legally required to watch
Yeah.
Adult Swim at that time.
Like-
It's
Yeah.
weird you weren't.
It's weird, right? Like I was watching Aqua Teen, I was watching C-Lab, I was watching Harvey Birdman, I was watching all the things, and then as soon as they were like, "Yo, it's Toonami time," I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't like
I
anime.
don't
I'm
wanna
20."
read.
Yeah,
But man,
like
if you had stuck around, like if you were just so high you didn't turn the channel, and then that first episode of Cowboy Bebop started up,
I would've been
I'm not
hooked.
saying that this is autobiographical, but it is. Like you would not be able to look away. Like
But
so
what's
you just
so-
missed it.
I'm a piece of shit, Jeff. I'm old enough. I'm an adult enough to admit
I'm
it.
glad
I'm
you
a
could
piece
grow
of
to
shit.
this point. I'm
Thank
glad.
you.
Yeah.
As long as we can all agree that I am a piece of shit. I was into Eon Flux back then.
Oh.
Which is not really necessary. Like
No, but
You
it's
know,
it's got the
but
same tone, similar
totally, it's insane. It's so insane. Anyway, I've seen 7 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, therefore an expert, and I recently watched the episode about VT, the character VT. If I don't know if you're aware, but watching that episode yesterday, and and then thinking about the Turtles recently, VT gave off total Raphael 1990 Ninja Turtle vibes. Like
Okay.
the big trench coat and the hat,
Sure.
the way
Is that
the way
not
Raphael.
Dick Tracy, though?
What's that?
Isn't that just Dick Tracy?
Who?
Raphael, big
Raphael
trench
in the trench
coat,
coat.
hat.
I don't think he was going for a Dick Tracy thing. Dick
I
Tracy's
think
got
he
like
made
a
Dick
yellow
Tracy
trench
joke,
coat.
didn't he? I thought he did. Or
maybe.
maybe Casey Jones made a Dick Tracy joke at him. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe. There's something about like big trench coat, like you're hiding a turtle shell, going out in camouflage. Like I just felt VT and out at night camouflage Raphael were exuding the same energy in a big way. So if anyone can appreciate that comparison, you're welcome.
She's the truck driver, the space truck driver,
That's
right?
right.
Or- okay.
Yeah, and she hates
she
bounty
rules.
hunters. She
Yeah, who
hates
doesn't?
them.
Don't we
But
all?
guess what? Can't resist that Spike Spiegel charm.
Well,
can you?
he's the exception
Can
that proves
you?
the rule, right?
Eh? Eh?
Did you guys play Neon White at all when it
Yeah.
came out?
Oh, so
Yeah.
much.
God, I love that. I love that. Just Spike from Cowboy Bebop
Yeah,
talking
and
to you about angels and demons more
Uh-huh.
than usual.
Which is
good.
odd because he's talked about it a lot.
A
So
lot.
yes, anytime he shows up anywhere, I'm very excited.
While we're still kind of tangentially talking about the Turtles, I don't know what compelled me to watch this, but I wound up watching the Michael Bay Turtle movies.
Oh no.
they made choices in those films.
Man, that's like such a weird thing that you just Michael Bay's Turtles movie. Like, yeah, he did that while he was in his Transformers era that lasted forever. He also did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Yeah, but like
he produced them. I
think about those.
Hey,
yeah, he produced them, right? But I mean, still, they have his signature on it.
Would you believe me? Or I forgot this. Tony Shalhoub is Splinter.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I love Tony Shalhoub. I do. That guy rules.
I could have predicted that you love Tony Shalhoub.
Why? Come on, Mrs. Maisel, dude. He's so good in Maisel.
I mean,
man.
Tony Shalhoub's great. I just like I could
have said 5 other things before that.
Bailey, you got a problem with Mrs. Maisel? What's happening?
Not a fan. Oh
no. Okay, let's get into this before we get into games because there's not a lot of games.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm not here to be a TV critic.
It's okay.
All right. But we can all agree that we like Tony Shalhoub. Yeah.
Tony
love Tony Shalhoub.
Except Bailey, clearly.
No,
I love Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub in Galaxy Quest, one of the best performances ever in a movie.
Yeah, he's the best.
Just fantastic stuff. He fucks an alien.
I like him a lot in Monk.
Sure.
Here's the Google Doc. I almost forgot to do this. Shouts out to.
You didn't even send it to me before.
Oh no, I'm talking about the bad Google Doc.
This is just the graffiti.
Oh, can you send me the good Google Doc?
I'll send it to you. I'm gonna put it in the chat for us right here.
Wait.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I was like, Grubb, be careful.
No. Our chat. Yep.
Okay. Whew. All right. Let's talk about video games.
Can't type. Okay, there we go.
Look, I'm really watching you struggle. I am, and I was like, man, she's gonna get there eventually.
She'll get there. You can't play video games most of the time unless you're looking at them on a TV or a monitor. But Jeff Bakalar, you got a portable monitor.
Listen to this. I feel like I've done something illegal, and I kind of went back and forth. I'm like, should I even talk about this on the show? Because once I start talking about this, I feel like I'm going to be in trouble. Well, I'm not going to be in trouble, but maybe the thing that I'm using this for will break. Oh my God, look at Grubb.
Did you buy the same monitor?
Did you? Are we monitor buds?
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Listen. I have a trip coming up. Couple plane rides in my future. Ooh, you got the Laffy Lack one.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a Norse god.
If IKEA only knew in the 90s that all of its funny names were about to be exploded out by a website called Amazon.com.
Hey, back I could tell that we're homeowners making the IKEA joke. That's good.
Yeah.
That lands with you too, right, Bailey? Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I love
owning shitting on the younger millennials. I love it. I love it. What's that house like?
Mortgage. It's $40 whole. Oh.
The interest rates. I'm gonna refinance this in a couple years.
No, it's a bad time to refi. What are you talking about? Don't do it now.
Gotta mow the lawn. I have.
Hey, Bailey, how's your HOA?
Don't worry about it.
Is your HOA?
The HOA says I have to have a lawn, even though we're in a drought.
Did you say HOA? Like HOA? That's awesome.
HOA.
Good job. That's really good. We haven't doled out podcast points in a while, but Bailey gets them all today for sure.
Wow.
I know I'm not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that.
I know I'm a piece of shit twice today. Listen,
I'm going to deduct 26.
To the
I can't afford that, Jen. All right, that puts me in the red.
I'm transferring that balance to Bailey's balance.
Wow.
I have to pay off this podcast negative balance.
I can finally buy a house.
I bought a portable monitor for a couple plane rides because my little one and I are through the 4th temple in Zelda and now want to continue playing on our trip because there's, who knows how many hundreds of hours left in this game. And I'm like, oh, we'll just play this on the plane. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, we won't because the screen on the Switch is too small to play with 2 people. It's insane. I realize people do it on rooftops and they do it wherever they do it. But I don't want to be that guy. So I bought a portable monitor thinking like, oh, I'll just figure a way to like jerry rig it together. And that's that. You guys, I thought like USB-C out video on the Switch was like this very proprietary coveted thing. I just hooked it up to this monitor and it worked with the USB-C cable that came with the monitor and it worked.
Wait, like directly into the Switch?
Dude, I can demo for you right now if you want to see it. Like,
I kind of want to see it.
It's insane. It just works.
Wait,
okay?
like just like
it's just the USB-C
the raw
cable.
naked port from the Switch.
I raw dogged the one that came with the monitor, and it just works.
No, no dock, like no dock.
No
involved.
sans dock.
Okay, I got to see this then. Actually, yes. Let's if you have it,
do it for scientific purposes. We'll
right,
narrate the whole thing for audio listeners.
You guys got to vamp for a second while I set this up. Guess what also works?
The
Steam Deck.
Well, yeah, that
Steam Deck does make sense, but that's good. That's good. Yeah, because you guys are gonna have. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, the portable monitor makes a lot of sense when you start getting a lot of those devices.
I feel like I'm about to really upset companies right now.
Nah, the Steam Deck is like Gabe does not care.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the company that you should worry about.
Yeah, I bet
the HOA.
Yeah, well, here you vamp. I'll show you the thing.
Okay.
Oh, this crew vamping? That's going to be so difficult. Oh.
I do want, I thought the dock was necessary for that stuff because I guess maybe they just turn it off with the Switch Lite, and that's what I'm thinking of. So maybe that does make some sense, but I don't know.
The dock is just so that it can stand up and have a little dignity, but you can really just plug it in anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, I feel like you couldn't take an HDMI or a USB-C to HDMI cord and plug it into a TV, but I think I must be wrong then, I guess. So yeah.
I'm always confused, right? Because USB-C can be lightning sometimes, right?
Oh, it can be so many things.
It wears so many hats.
Wait a minute here. I have something more upsetting. Outback Steakhouse is calling their appetizers Aussie-tizers?
Aussie-tizers! Come on, guys. They just ran out of jokes. They were like, I don't know. They did that thing where you write the intro section last. So they did the rest of the menu. They're like, great, banger after banger. And then they got to the appetizers. They're like, fuck, what do we do here? Aussie-tizers. There, we're done. All
right, I'm going to make a joke, and then I want Australian listeners to write in and tell me if I need to stop making these jokes. Aussie-tizers sounds like the fight you get in before your fight. It sounds like that you're going to get in your real fight in a second, but the Aussie-tizer, you're going to have the little fight before the big fight.
No, that's not. How can that be offensive? What is that?
Who are you defending? It's more offensive that you apologize to Australian people before making the joke.
Listen.
What do they care?
Okay, as you can see, my Switch is hooked up with the bottom USB-C.
Okay.
Here's the other end. I'm going to plug it in. Okay.
Now, is this monitor drawing from the Switch? This is power?
What do you mean? Yeah, no, it's separate. So, look, there it is.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Okay, no, show us the Switch.
The Switch must be getting power from the monitor.
So, yeah, the Switch, because the monitor does have a power. I am powering the monitor.
Right. So that's why that makes sense.
But I think it will still work if I take the plug out.
Okay. Yeah, because
nope, it does not.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's good because it needs power.
Wait, it does.
No, I don't think it
had to do. It had to look. It's there's no power on it right now, and it's getting power somehow because it's displaying the no signal.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It might be drawing power.
Maybe
from the
drawing
Switch
just sipping a little bit. It does run by itself with the Steam Deck. So if you just plug this, the Steam Deck puts out enough power. I tried this yesterday.
Yeah.
Where it is running. But yeah.
Yeah, portable monitors don't usually have batteries, right? Because mine doesn't.
No.
That'd be kind of crazy.
You would need something pretty serious. But yeah, isn't that crazy?
Cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's why is that working?
Are you worried about there was a worry about bricking Switches early on by using bad docks? That seems to have mostly gone away.
I mean, at this point, who cares?
You're right. They're like, I got 4 Switches in this house somewhere. I could just fix an old one or something.
Who cares? You know?
All right, cool.
Playing with house money at this point.
Fantastic. Well, speaking about Switch games, Mr. Grubb sounds like, and it reads like on this document here, that you beat Pikmin 4.
I beat Pikmin 4. Yeah, I got credits 20 hours ago. So this game's making me wonder man, what does even beating a game mean anymore? But I got credits 20 hours ago. There's a ton to do after that. Most of it it surprisingly keeps a lot of momentum, even though you've mostly finished up with the like, oh, I'm going to get a new thing that makes me more powerful or makes my characters able to do more, or finding new Pikmin. By then, you're going to have found all the Pikmin, but like things like finding their onion, which enables you to grow these Pikmin without just finding them out in the wild, something that for some of these more rare Pikmin takes a long time. Yes, so like that is still, that was encouraging me to keep exploring the world. I'm like, I'll just go get all the onions. I'll just set the little doggy to sniff out onions every time we get to a new level, and then I'll just go get those. And a lot of the ones I was finding are the Flarlicks. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I was finding the Flarlicks, and that means you can have more Pikmin in the world, but that caps at 100. So it's like at a certain point that just gives you like some power ups and stuff. Not very useful at a certain point. And I was like, man, where's the white onion? And as I was like exploring for it, I discovered the final stage, which is like this 20 level cave that you go through. And it's like you're using all your Pikmin in really interesting ways. And I really loved everything up until about the last boss. The last boss is fine. The boss fights in this game are not really why I'm here. It's like the exploration's really good. The sense of progression is really good. And I like how the loop is fantastic. Just being able to go
bossing a bunch of little guys around.
Like bossing and like getting more little guys so I could do even more the next day. Like, so, that was a really good productive day. Now tomorrow I know I could do even more. That's what works for me. The boss fights are like, mostly you're trying to get them over as quickly as possible by just ramming your dog into them and sending all 100 Pikmin to attack them at the same time. And that's kind of how the last boss fight works as well, except for it has phases. And I was not prepared with the correct Pikmin. And the game doesn't spell out that you needed to bring in certain Pikmin. Like, I didn't have any blue, yellow, or red Pikmin. Because the stage is like, let's just have you auto select the Pikmin you're going to bring with you. And it didn't give me any of those. And I was like, that's fine. I'm sure I don't need them because this has been pretty handy so far when the game is just like, just bring these. So I go through all 20 levels. And then the previous level of this cave right before the final boss fight, there are these little flowers that you could throw your Pikmin in to make red, yellow, or blue. And some other things. And I'm like, I probably don't need that. Like, that's probably just optional. And I would only be able to get 5 of them. Because that's when the flower, you put 5 in, that spits out 5 red, and then it disappears. You can't use it anymore. I'm like, so this is probably just like in case you wanted to have a more variety for this final fight. Turns out that was a mistake because I got to the electric phase and I didn't have yellow Pikmin, and so the boss throws out these little electric yellow balls that send electric lines all around in the circular pattern. And so I was like trying to dodge everything and then still attack the guy, but my Pikmin would get electrocuted and I was screwed. So eventually I just I'm going to hold all my Pikmin back in the corner and just send the dog out because the dog was so powered up at this point that he could just go and do anything. So I had him take away all those electric balls, and then we went and attack and we were able to get through it. And that was just frustrating instead of fun at that point. So it's that's kind of like a little bit of a fizzle out there at the very end. But overall, just a fantastic game still. Just something I really, really enjoyed spending a ton of time with. Like, I took a break from Tears of the Kingdom specifically just to play through Pikmin 4. And then when I got the first credits, I did kind of consider maybe just putting it down. And I was like, I'm still being drawn into this. And now that I've beaten it, I didn't get all the onions. I think I am done with it now. So probably won't go back because there's so much else to play. Although I would love a world in which, I would 100% that game. It's an easy game to 100% in terms of the desire to do so. But it's man, it's just not a very good use of my time right now. But overall, just I'm still really in love with Pikmin 4.
You have a writing credit because of it. So
yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't watched the Honest Game trailer, Grubb got a writing credit on it.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I trumpeted that up. Definitely watch that. Bailey did a very good job of editing my jokes into something that resembled something funny. So I appreciate it.
They were very funny concepts.
Yeah, it was exactly. They were joke-like shapes. Yes, that's exactly what it was. I had a good time with that. So yeah,
well, that's what it means.
Thank you for your help.
To punch up a joke. I get it now. Okay.
Yes, let Bailey actually write it.
Yeah, I need everyone to just go to every single Honest Game trailers and say oh my God, this is great. Bailey's the best. Just put that.
Mm-hmm.
Just comment that. All right.
I mean,
the shredder of games media. Grubb, I need you to educate me, and please excuse my Pikmin blind spot because
it's okay.
I just thought Pikmin were a bunch of little weirdos, and
they are. Right.
Yeah. Was it intended for the name Pikmin to be evocative of kind of Pokemon?
That's not the story they tell. The story they tell is that Shigeru Miyamoto designed the characters, to look like a type of carrot that sounds like Pikmin in Japan. So like I don't know if the carrots are actually called Pikmin, but it's like something like Pika carrots or something like that. And he designed them after that, and that's where they come from, allegedly. I don't know. It does sound like Pokemon, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, let's try to confuse people, but that also doesn't sound very Nintendo.
Okay. I think Shigeru Miyamoto would blow up on foraging TikTok from the sounds of it. It sounds like his interests are very varied, and he just loves being outside despite making video games.
That's right. He likes to play in the dirt.
Speaking about playing in the dirt, I feel like I've been hitting a wall because I keep jumping in dirt and slipping in grease because I can't stop casting grease in Baldur's Gate 3.
Starting to figure out why you might be slipping in grease. I have an easy fix for this one, Jan.
Yes.
Don't cast grease.
I can't.
There are so many better spells.
I can't help it, Bailey. I don't understand anything. I just got the handsome wizard man, and he had a grease spell. I'm like, well, that's the only thing I'm going to use him
Gale?
for.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when I started the game over after playing it multiplayer with for the UPF Grubb, we completely missed the wizard man, and we wound up in jail.
So wait, which wizard man is this?
He is the
Gale, right?
Yes, Gale. Well, not the cover art guy, not this one with the silver hair.
Right, that's a Astarion.
Yes.
No, that's a Sarian. He's not a wizard. He's a rogue vampire.
He's a rogue, rogue vampire. Yeah.
Right. And then I pulled the wizard man out of the portal, and then I was like, "Oh, what's up, dog?" And it's great. It's great.
Implying that we missed it makes it sound like we were looking. we were not looking for anything.
I'm happy that we didn't come across it at all because
we
then
would have killed him. Yeah.
Well, yes, he's been saved. Grubb, you put on the doc that you've been playing it. I've also been playing it. As I understand, Bailey, you've been playing it.
Yep.
I'm still at a point where, like I said, I was trying to beat Pikmin 4 and Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm like, I keep dabbling in Baldur's Gate 3, trying to honestly get over my intimidation of it. It's just like I could see how it takes up all this time, and it's not just like a shallow time; it's deep time. Like you need to focus in on this stuff and learn all these mechanics, or make an attempt to learn the mechanics to find some fun in this stuff. And I'm still at a point where I'm not sure what that process is going to look like for me. So I'm kind of curious to hear if you guys have any tips and sort of like what that process was like for you.
My tip. Bailey, you probably put way more hours than I have. My tip is just YOLO, Grubb. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do. Yeah.
I'm a little Brock Lesnar.
My tip's the same. It's just vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that again. I can't not hear that enough.
Yeah, I rolled with a little dwarf named him Brock Lesnar. And he's very brawlic. He's great. And then I'm just punching people in the face, but I'm very empathetic. And I keep trying to break up fights. I don't have enough charisma, so it just devolves into a fight. It's great.
That sounds like Brock Lesnar for sure. I loaded up our game, and there was Brock Lesnar just completely naked with his dick out. It's like, oh yeah, that's where we left everybody. Fantastic.
Yeah, I have a rogue. Her name is Flip Bailey. She does flips. She looks like me. It's been good. I mean, like the problem is like I'm very deep into it. Like I'm near the end of the story, and I'm hoping to finish it after this. But I was hoping to finish it last night, and I kept hitting this like part that I couldn't get past. This fight that was insane that I could not get past, and I was like, I don't know. I think I short circuited. I couldn't do it anymore because I like the game so much, but it is sort of like playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons with the worst dungeon master you've ever encountered in your life.
For the folks at home, Bailey, that don't know what a bad dungeon master or DM would mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, they want you to do things in a specific order. They are really weird about like mechanics, like they're buggy and they keep crashing the game for some fucking reason.
But
just keep throwing all the minis off the table anytime you try to open up your phone or whatever.
I heard that this game makes all other AAA games look like lazy developers by comparison. That was going around on the internet. I'm like, oh yeah, people just aren't getting to the bugs yet. There's
Definitely the takeaway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, how are you? Because like when I imagine Dungeons and Dragons play at this point, I do imagine all the podcasts I've listened to. I've never played it myself, and in those situations, the DM is always very accommodating. Like the whole point is like you are here to have fun, but maybe it's more important. It's like wrestling. It's more important that the other person doesn't get hurt. It's more important that the other people are like have fun as well. If you play that way, everyone will have a good time because they'll do the same for you. It's like that golden rule +1, like golden rule, but do what's best for everyone else as well. The game just can't do that, right? It has to be a video game first, right?
Yes. So you've got Dungeons and Dragons mechanics, but a game that's actively trying to screw you over at all opportunities. And it is at times deeply infuriating. You wind up making one wrong decision and soft locking yourself out of entire quest lines because you answered a question wrong and now you have to kill all these people or they're going to kill you first and there's no way to talk out of it. Like,
have you been
it gets a little frustrating.
Have you been doing any save scumming, Bailey, or have you just been rolling with the decisions?
A little. Unlike big important roles that I can tell that if I mess it up, I'm really gonna lock myself out of something important in the story. I am gonna save scum. I wouldn't typically, but in this situation, and please know, it's only in like desperate situations because loading up one of these games takes a full fucking hour. So like when I'm doing it, I'm really meaning it. Like,
right.
It matters. I'm feeling that pain. Like it hurts me every time.
I'm really enjoying my time with this, and this being one of my first introductions to like heavy dice rolls and everything, and like, okay, shit, all this stuff really does matter, huh? Like, like you said, Bailey, I have been soft locked out of stuff that I've seen people talk about. I'm like, I don't know who that person is.
Yeah, it's fun to see like people fail like the this is a 0 skill check and then they get a critical failure and still fail. It's like I like that the game makes that possible. Like that is a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes to show it doesn't matter how good you are at something, you can still really fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Good lesson.
I will say I've seen people post like videos of like later game scenes or gameplay, and it does seem very, very intimidating with having to juggle MMO style hot bars after a while. Bailey, has that been like a problem at all, or have you kind of just settled into a flow?
I haven't had that much of a problem with it, and I don't play MMOs, so like if anyone else is having a problem, that feels like a skill issue to me.
This was like a friendly question, Bailey, because I was just trying to gauge where people were at. Okay, all right. Jeff Backlar, do you want to play Baldur's Gate 3 or something?
No, Backlar's in full defense mode. This is like, Backlar, can I try to like diagnose? Because I think I'm in this like close to be where you are, where you see like I see other people having a lot of fun with this, and I think I want that for myself, but there's also a good chance of having FOMO because it might just be physically impossible for me to spend the time on this game. I need to actually have that time. So it might be easier to just be like, I don't care. I don't want to actually get into this game.
Yeah, like I'm definitely lying when I say I don't care.
Right, but it's a defense mechanism. It's
a necessity. It's out of necessity. I'm lying because I have to lie because I physically can't put this square peg in a round slot. Like it's just simply not feasible. It's a naughty slot. I don't want. I mean, look. I don't know. Maybe one day, in my 50s, I could play Baldur's Gate 3
next year.
Jan.
I felt bad after I said that. I'm sorry.
You realize you've walked into Dan Riker joke territory.
Yeah, I know. But, Bailey had a rib, and then I thought like, oh, I can rib too now. Okay,
you're better than him. You're better than him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of slot is square, but you understand my analogy.
Isn't a okay? No, we don't need to talk about shapes.
It's anyway. So like, yeah, it sucks. I would like to play it, but like. I forget, one of you guys were telling me like, oh, even if you want to try it, like you still have to know a lot of stuff. And I don't know. It's like, come game of the year, I'm obviously going to probably have not even touched it yet. And I'll be in trouble. So, whatever.
I think that you don't have to know stuff necessarily. You just got to play the right class in that situation.
The Jon Snow approach.
Yeah, you can know nothing. Yeah.
I would say if you're like new to the concept of Dungeons and Dragons, I wouldn't go with like a magic class. I would go
Yeah.
with like a fighter or like a rogue or something like.
Wait,
I would
are
honestly.
you giving me advice on the thing I said I'm absolutely not playing?
Yes, definitely.
Well, I think. Well, it sounds like you're just afraid, and I think that if you had a little less fear in you, maybe you would try this game. Because as much as I hate it right now, it actually is a great game, and I think people should play it.
Fear's a part of it. Fear's a part of it.
Oh yeah, that's same for me. Yeah.
And the console version is coming out next month, which I'm actually very curious to see how that turned out because I've heard really good things. And it is actively breaking my PC every time I open it. I can hear my PC going like underneath the casing.
It's like apparently like Zen 2 chip CPUs. All that matters is these are relatively new CPUs. Like I just gave one to Mike. An older one that I had, but it's like a really good one. And it's like apparently that's struggling with Baldur's Gate. It's like, oh man, already these CPUs are being outdated by this CRPG. But that's the kind of game that would do it. Yeah.
You would have thought that like the FOMO would have really taken a hold of me on this one, right? Like because I am so prone to that, but like it's just not. And I'm trying.
When it's this big, it's like I think it's easy to be like, nah,
right?
There's plenty of other stuff to play. Like I get it.
Plenty of.
It's like
stuff.
I don't need to see the Grand Canyon. I know it's this huge fucking hole in the ground. Fuck it, it's enormous. It's huge. It's whatever. I'm just gonna skip over it.
And but that people will be like, no, you've seen it in person and it's different. And of course it is.
Of course, flown over it a bunch. Yeah, it's fine.
I know we're gonna get to Game of the Year, and what's gonna happen is Zelda, I'll go in assuming Zelda's obviously a lock, and it's going to be like, actually, Baldur's Gate's going to have a ton of support. So like, I'm like, I want to give it a chance before we get there because I don't want to be rushing it at the end of the year. So I'm going to get a chance. It's just hard.
Yeah. I feel like Baldur's Gate is going to have a ton of support, and I don't think it's going to walk away empty-handed. I think that would be bananas. But I do feel like Zelda still is Game of the Year for me personally, having having finished that one and getting near the end of Baldur's Gate. Some people actually have finished Tears of the Kingdom at this point, Jan. I know based on who you talk to, it seems like an impossible feat, but it is actually quite doable.
Oh man,
and I'd recommend trying.
Jan's heartbreak is fun.
No one else does it, is why.
It's just still the Game of the Year for me because between Baldur's Gate and Zelda, like with Baldur's Gate, it's incredible what they've achieved. With Zelda, it's also incredible what they've achieved, and at no point did I rage quit it. I was just having a really good time the whole time.
Yeah. See, that tells me everything I need to hear.
Okay.
You know, that once I hear that like people are actively upset at Baldur's Gate occasionally, like you know, I don't need that anger in my life. I'm angry enough, you know?
I take a card game break on stream because I needed to like just not play something that was going to crash my computer every 3 seconds or yell at me because I inexplicably rolled a 1 on a lockpick, even though I'm a rogue with 17 dexterity. It's fine.
Sometimes your hands are tired. But speaking about
hands are tired.
Speaking about a card game break, Bailey, I see that you've been playing and streaming Slay the Spire.
Yeah, that's the card game I've been playing when I don't want to play Baldur's Gate. It's really good.
Very one and the same. They've
got similar concepts. I'm obsessed with Slay the Spire. I only started playing it this week. Someone recommended it to me in my stream. Shout out to Jack. After I became obsessed with Inscription and I wanted another game. And he was like, "Oh, you're going to love this." And he was right. I have been playing it just this week, but I've slayed the Spire once. I feel like I'm freakishly good at it, and I'm so excited to keep doing it because it is the most addicting game I think I've ever played. I am obsessed with it to a degree that I haven't been obsessed with anything in like a really long time.
Oh, that's cool.
I had a Slay the Spire problem as well when it initially came out, and then like people were telling me like, "Oh, you gotta turn on the quick option or whatever the fast mode is." I'm like, "Oh shit, this is a whole nother gear."
Mode?
You go into the options, it's like slightly faster. I forget what it does because it's been a hot minute. Oh, Bailey, if you like Slay the Spire, there's another game that is exactly like Slay the Spire but on a train.
Monster Train.
There we go.
What? But I love trains.
Yeah, so I was gonna recommend this. I haven't played either. I've had both like on my periphery, but like obviously it's not going to happen this year. But like I definitely consider both. Like Jan, you've played both. Which one would you recommend first?
I am still leaning towards the Slay the Spire camp, because that is not an easier roguelike, but a more digestible one rather than Monster Train. Monster Train, you have to balance 3 lanes versus just the one.
Oh, cool.
Got to be a jungler. Got to play a little MOBA style.
Exactly. You got to be a little MOBA.
I love roguelikes, and I'm only recently really getting into card games, and this is just it seems like there's a whole world for me to unlock out there. The bent of Honest Game Trailers is going to turn very far away from AAA titles and just right into like very specific like card game joke after card game joke. People are going to get so sick of it. We're going to lose all our subscribers. Sorry to my bosses. It's going to be worth it. We're going to find the right audience.
Roguelikes and card games are 2 of the best genres that are the most, like, if you mention them, people are like, oh, I don't like those games. I'm out here. And it's like, oh, roguelikes are just the best thing you could do. Like, the best thing you could turn a game into is a roguelike. And then card games, you can't put out a card game unless you've thought about the mechanics so hard about like what makes them fun at this point. So it's like if you're putting out a card game in 2023, it's probably going to be a good time. So yeah, I always show up for those.
I was thinking about this when I saw you streaming Slay the Spire, Bailey, but I was thinking, holy smokes, have I been wrong my whole life? Is math actually fun? Math is fun, huh?
Math can be fun. I didn't like math when I was growing up, but then when I worked a retail job and math became, if you can do 60% off, you can figure out how much you can buy this item for. Suddenly math was a blast. And now math is in game and game even more fun than work.
Math is a blast, like Math Blaster. Like that's where I learned that math was a blast. Yeah.
Like a Math Blaster.
All right. Game devs listening to this podcast, here's a free $1 million idea. Here's your new roguelike or your new game idea to make. All right. Basically, you just hand out change. Because as someone that has worked a register before, figuring out the proper change to hand out with coins, very satisfying. Just turn that into a game. Turn that into a game.
I like that.
That should absolutely be a thing. And then like make it all complicated too. Like level 2 is like, oh, but they're returning something.
Well, and you introduce new currencies, right? Like you just like now you get like you make it an isekai. And you get sucked into a fantasy world where like they have like not just like dollars and cents, they have like gold and silver and buttons and stuff. And
someone's
like,
trying to write a check, and then you got
TM. Nobody else can have this idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Bailey. TM.
One of these days, I got to learn how to develop a game, and then it'll happen, guys.
I think you just tell ChatGPT to do it, and now it'll happen.
Oh, totally.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah.
And then just think about when you got to introduce coupons and everything, right?
Yeah, I love coupons.
What? Okay.
No, that's DLC. The coupons is all DLC.
Oh, okay. All right. And then you could have like a peripheral with like you got to scan the coupon and everything. All right.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, there's something really satisfying about this game. I want to play it.
Yeah.
Good job. What's it called?
Capitalism 2. Change makers is better.
Change makers.
Yeah.
I like change makers. I do think that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's actually a TM. Now there's actually a TM there. All right, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Game devs, we're homies. We're friends. I love everything you make, but don't fucking
do
take
all the
my
work,
idea.
and Jam will split 50-50 with you.
Yeah. This is why I should just produce stuff because I'll
70-30.
Is it 30 me or is it 70 them? Okay.
To you to decide. It depends on how good of a lawyer you get, I guess.
God, I gotta get a lawyer now.
Change makers.
No, it's a business. Change
I see
makers.
the logo.
Yeah,
like the C is the synth
Jacob
thing,
Gray, you get 500 podcast points. Change makers, making sense.
Fuck.
Wow. Well, that's the DLC with the coupons.
Jeez.
Yes, the coupons, the coupons. Grubb, I don't think you've beat this game yet.
No.
You have not.
No, I'm like not even really trying to beat it. I'm having fun doing everything else.
Wow, that's like we're 20 minutes away from our destination. It's been a long drive to get to the Airbnb. Dad, please just pull over. Like we don't need to stop by this jam stand. We've already bought 20 pounds of cherries. Grubb, you wrote on this doc here. You continue to have Game of the Year moments in Tears of the Kingdom, and we'll call this the Game of the Week because I have a little discussion I want to have afterwards.
It's a Oh,
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
It's earned it. So yeah, what happened was I see Baldur's Gate 3 happening, and I'm like, well, I got to get some time with that. But then I looked at what's coming up very soon in terms of reviews or review code and stuff like that. I'm like, I have to finish Tears of the Kingdom by, let's say, by the end of this week. And so as soon as I beat Pikmin 4, I jumped right back into Tears of the Kingdom and spent all weekend playing it again.
Wow.
And I've had the quest I've had, I think it's probably where Bacalar, you're probably about there. It says a crisis at Hyrule Castle.
Can I interrupt you real quick? I will interrupt you real quick. Okay, it's a change makers. There's like a sec. After you get the change, occasionally to break up the flow of gameplay, you have to bag the groceries.
No,
and then
like a Tetris kind of thing?
And then it becomes like a Resident Evil 4 inventory game. And I know we have one of those.
You could do like Henry Hatsworth, where both games are happening at the same time.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This fucking game would sell 1 million units on mobile.
Really?
I promise you.
So.
Yo, I know nothing about
it for like $3 on Steam and make a ton.
I don't know nothing about game development. I'm gonna go buy a whiteboard after this and make a tree, a chart.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, tree.
Come on,
make a tree.
Okay,
let's just do this.
All right.
Just make the game.
TM, everyone. All right, please. No.
We should do a game jam. We should just try to figure out how to make a game.
And then TMNT. All right, please.
Make the game, you cowards.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, I'm supposed to be going to Hyrule Castle. I went in there. I poked my head in, and what I did is I discovered the soldier armor, and that's what I'm trying to upgrade as well. I'm like, you know what? Let's go take care of a few things while I try to get the stuff I need to upgrade this armor. I need 3 Hinox guts and 5 Lizalfos tails, all kinds of stuff. And basically that means going out and just farming enemies. I killed, I don't know, I think every Hinox that was in the world, which are like the big cave troll looking guys. I think I killed every, and this is like the base level Hinoxes, because I think they drop the things I need. And I got maybe 2 Hinox guts. So I'm waiting for the red moon to come back.
Right.
So they can respawn.
Blood moon?
Yeah, the blood moon. And while
she says it 1 million times. How do you not know what it's called?
I skip it every time.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't let me skip it. Have you noticed that?
You got to hit X and then start right away.
But in Breath of the Wild, the blood moon rises once again. She sounds like this weird old lady
you were
voice.
Underestimating my ability to tune things out.
My God, that's really impressive.
I go to a different place.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I'm waiting for the blood moon to come back, and so I'm like, I'll take care of a few other things out in the world that I was having fun with, and I'm doing all the pen missions and stuff, the journalist missions, and that's been fun.
I love the journalist missions. I ran out of those, I was genuinely sad I didn't have any more to do. That guy's the best. I think they're in love. I'm pretty sure they're in love.
Oh yeah, they are. There's a lot of tension there, and I really like it a lot. There was a fun one where there's the all clucking Kuko, I think is how you say it.
Yes.
Yes, and it's this Kuko that can tell you the fortunes and stuff, and everyone goes and gets in line and tries to hear their fortunes. And all it really has you do is a bunch of go get on that building and we'll tell your future or whatever. And it's all these challenges. It's really stupid, but I really like it. And of course, the Kuko, spoilers, you know this. Come on, everyone knows this. It's a Yiga clan guy in disguise, and he pops out and he fights you. And every time something's from the Yiga clan, I'm like, yeah, I love these idiots. They're so dumb. They're so stupid. They're the worst criminals ever. And I love just beating them up. So I was pretty excited about that.
There's such a good presence in this game. Have you explored much of the downstairs area?
I've completely 100%ed it, yes.
Yeah. You 100%ed the downstairs?
Yes.
You've 100%ed the downstairs and you haven't finished Crisis in Hyrule Castle?
So that brings us to the next thing that happened to me, my Game of the Year moment. I was just in doing one of these pen missions, and I by the one of these stables, and I talked to someone, and it's hey, that fucking cloud up there, huh? I'm like, yeah, it looks like there's probably some fun stuff in there. I should go check it out. Very good point, video game. And so I clean up some of the pen missions, and I'm like, okay, I'll figure out how to get up there. And I build an aircraft, or I think I built my hover bike, and I hover biked into these clouds, and it is pea soup. You cannot see shit. It's so foggy. And I'm starting to get the point, the idea, I'm not supposed to be here, but the game won't stop me. And boy, that's just about the best thing in a video game that I enjoy experiencing. Something that's you're not supposed to be here, but if you want to be here, feel free to do it. And I'm finding land occasionally, and my shrine sensor goes off. It's like, hey, no, there's something nearby. I'm like, okay, I'm going to find this. So at least I can get a checkpoint up here that I can fast travel back to. I forgot about my portable fast travel points. I should have just dropped one of those. But I'm like, I'll find this shrine.
What?
And I fell off.
Should we put a spoiler tag? Grubb?
You could make travel. Okay,
it's been out for half a year. We can, but we got to talk about the game a little bit. So
I just need to follow up with you after this. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the group of sky islands that look kind of like a dragon?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
yep.
Sorry.
I might need to take my.
Hey, back on this. I am going to get into the spoilers now. So this
okay.
is like
Let me just.
stuff.
Hey, folks, if you're watching and listening, quick spoilers.
Yes. So I fall off the island and I'm falling through the clouds and I'm like, shit. And I'm just trying to find any other island to land on. And I can't see anything. I can't see 5 feet in front of my face. So I'm like, I'm like hoping I get lucky. And then the shrine sensor goes off again. And I'm able to like triangulate the direction I'm supposed to go in. And I land right on this island. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll find the shrine. I find the shrine, I turn it on. And then I turn around and there's this weird mask behind me. And I pick up the mask and it shines a laser beam down to the ground. And I'm like, what? I've never seen anything like this in this game. What is this? And so I glue that to a plane and I fly to follow the laser beam down because it's like one of those shrine crystals that you need to take there. It tells you where to go. And I follow it down. We go underground and all of a sudden I'm in this big thing that I've seen before. Like it's called like the left leg shrine and the right leg shrine. I've been there before. I've 100% of the downstairs. And then all of a sudden it activates. And I'm putting the pieces together of this big machine. And while this is happening, I look at my menu and it says, oh, by the way, your main quest has been updated. I'm like, wait, what? This is main quest stuff? I thought I'm just going to the castle to defeat Ganon. This is incredible. There's so much more in this game. And it's like, I could just stumble. Sequence breaking is fun. Sequence breaking in such a large game like this feels like I have ownership of the experience in such a way that it blew me away. I won't get into too many other details because it's like, I'm just going to talk about what is the quest. But doing that it blew me away. And I'm just like, yep, this is it for me. This is the exact kind of game I want.
All right. Folks, we're clear. We're clear.
Thank you. Listen.
I'm sorry. My mind is like
so you probably I think a lot of people
did it in the right order.
You didn't. So I'm like so desperate to hear what that is. So
we should eventually do a spoiler cast. We should eventually do it.
My major thing
in 2026.
My major thing with the depths is I'm a little scaredy cat with a coward's heart. So I was like very afraid of going down there because I didn't want hands with eyeballs to eat my soul.
Oh God, have you ever beaten one of those?
Yes. Well, now I have a lot of times. I'm not afafraid of them anymore.
Well, eventually, I think you need to, right? Doing one of the main things requires it.
You will have, once you are done with Crisis in Hyrule Castle, you will know how to beat them.
Oh, okay.
So what's interesting?
That's still like the thing there, even though my main quest updated. Like I did this other part of the main quest. Now that's been like lopped off, and I'm still at Crisis in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
So.
No, exploring the depths has been a thing I've been like doing on my own time. Like, because also again, I was trying to get through the game in a week. For work. So like I was like, exploring the depths seems cool, but this is something I'm just gonna have to get to later.
So this is exactly like I decided early on, since I wasn't doing a review and I didn't have that time pressure, I was gonna give myself the permission to explore this world how I wanted to. And very quickly I'm like, I think I just want to 100% the depths. A big part of that is realizing the connection to the surface world, and that made it easier to spot all the shrines on the surface because they're linked together. So I was like, that way I can get all the shrines. And I'm at like 125 shrines completed, and I'm like, I realized there's 152, so I'm probably not going to do it because I don't want to like do a pixel hunt to find the last few. But you know, that was fun. Also, it turns out like the names of the shrines and the names of the roots, the light roots, they're the same thing. They're just backwards and forwards. And it took me the entire game to realize that. Yeah. All that stuff's fun. So I was like, I'm glad I could play the game this way. And I didn't try to rush it because otherwise I think I would not have done so many of these things. And really, it's just confirmed it for Game of the Year for me.
I just love seeing folks in the chat make that connection.
So
the way I'm playing this game.
Numbers.
What's that?
Turbo Sean's making a joke about how Mike got in Nintendo jail for saying how many cat shrines there were, and I said how many. Yeah,
careful with numbers. I'm playing this with like my kid kind of being the driving, force. Like he
the
has
creative director.
He has exactly. He has like the agency, right?
Yes.
And he's like, we got to do the regional phenomenon like right away, and we've kind of mainlined that. A couple side quests here and there.
Have you guys done the Dragon Tears?
We've done 2.
That's what you need to do next.
Okay,
That's critical.
So
it is so amazing.
So yeah, I could see what that is sort of leading up to. The one that's like tattooed on a mountain near the lightning temple. We can't find it. It's just there.
I know. Just try to get up high and like look for the one that's a bit.
Just get high.
Yeah, I know.
You can brute force it too. It just takes
for
extra
sure.
time.
So
It takes a little looking around.
But like, you talked about, I heard about one of those things you were talking about with like a new sort of sensor. There's like an ability we still don't have that I know because I played the preview exists.
Oh.
And we don't have that yet, right?
So
and I'm like,
so that's like doing the, I'll just give you the right direction. Is that okay? I don't want to spoil anything.
Sure, that's fine.
I think if you do any of the stuff with the scientist Robbie, and if
like
you
going down
quest,
into the depths and finding, So like, I want to do that.
Force that stuff. I just like stumbled on that stuff as well, and then later I'm like, oh, I'm gated because I didn't talk to this guy about this other thing. So talk to him.
Like I want to do that stuff. Like I think they are main quests. They're considered main quests, but they're not like the main like 1A stuff. So I feel like on this trip I'm like, let's be explorers, right? I'm trying to like, push that agenda on him. Like, we should explore more. We shouldn't just like go to the dot. We have to explore. We got to find this stuff. But the depths are scary. I get it. Like he does not want to go
therapy.
there.
I do. Like that's what I felt the exact same way as Bailey, where it's like I am scaredy cat. I definitely am, and I'm like I just got to throw myself at it so I know what's in the shadows. And usually it's just a big a giant frog guy, and so I can outrun him, but. Yeah, the thing that really got me for me was when I put the big light bulb plant on my hover bike, so I could just like light up the whole thing as I'm flying around.
That's very helpful.
Unlocked it for me.
Yeah. The major thing that made it easier for me to feel comfortable walking around down there was getting the gloom outfit and getting the miner outfit, which glows.
Yep.
Both of those things have been critical in my fearlessness in being able to just sort of freely tromp around down there. And also doing the thing that you accidentally did made a big difference, Jeff, because you can just hop on its back and walk through stuff.
What the fuck? It's so insane that that's just in the game.
I know.
It's just
oh man.
I love it. It's taken over so much of my life and my gaming life, and it's just the best.
Yep.
It really is.
I am going to try to beat it.
You know
week,
what?
Brian.
Okay. All right.
I believe in you.
Yes, I just got to commit to it.
I feel like I've been putting it off because I'm a baby gamer, right? And I feel like I'm going to give myself a deadline. Okay. I'm going to give myself a deadline, and I'm going to put some stakes on it. All right.
Okay.
Sloppy steaks.
Some sloppy steaks. Okay. If I do not finish Tears of the Kingdom by our PAX West panel,
sure,
I will shave my head at the panel.
Holy shit! Why would you just walk into that? You just worked yourself into a shoot, right? Is that the right way to use it?
Jan, here's the
You just want to shave your head?
He definitely does, but listen, if you get to a point where you don't, like, just let me know. We'll get on the site and we'll just start streaming it, and we'll co-work. What is the body doubling thing? I'll be there and I'll be on your side and we'll get it finished. All right, just let me know. All right, I'm here for you.
You played yourself.
Let me tell you. Let me give an image of where folks are. I only have 7 hearts.
Oh shit,
my
Jan.
god, dude, you're fucked.
But I got 2.5 stamina circles, baby.
Okay, all right. So you can rejigger that if you need to. Don't worry. Yeah, there's ways.
No. That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I Z target like a motherfucker.
Have you gotten the Master Sword?
Nope. Well, no. Yeah. Yes.
Wait, what, you have?
Yes.
How'd you listen?
Well, no. Well, you know what?
PAX is very soon. Are you not aware of when it is? Like,
no. I know. Hey, there's gonna
be
like
us in a cave with a box of scraps.
Sorry. Shave your head, man.
Man, every chance I get to use that quote, I'm sorry.
Shave your head, Jan.
Jan,
you gonna do that?
Hey, it's gonna take a while to get 2 PAX. All right, so literally.
Okay.
So
all right,
that's true.
You guys,
man, that's a really good. Yeah. Okay, I like this, Jan.
It's like a race. It's like the great race.
Okay.
And Cannonball Run.
to give some inside baseball, and shouldn't be inside baseball. It should be public baseball, actually.
All baseball is public.
All baseball is public. Our PAX panel, the official Giant Bomb. Anyone have anything else to talk about Tears of the Kingdom before we go to break?
Yes, but no.
Yeah, I think
always.
I exercise my demons there a little bit. I'll have more to talk about next week.
All right.
If you do the schoolhouse side quest, you can grow crops. Okay, continue.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't need to know this. All right, folks.
Make as many Endura carrots as you want. Keep going.
So the Giant Bomb is returning to PAX West, as we said a couple weeks ago. We finally have the dates for our panels. Those are locked in, right, Backler?
Yeah, they are locked.
Okay, cool. I don't know specifically which theaters or sections they're in, but I do know the time slots. Grubb, Lucy, Tam, myself will be part of a panel hosted by Jenna Stobel on Friday night, September 1st at 8 p.m., I believe. And then the Giant Bomb voicemail dump truck rolls into PAX West with those same people, Grubb, Tam, Lucy, myself, and our lovely robotic friend, Robo Mitch, joining us as well. Saturday, September 2nd at 5 p.m.
Yeah, and I know that it's named after a winged creature, the name of the room that we're in, so it means it's on the top floor. That's how they do it.
Don't we have this?
It is. I'm going to find it. Give me a second.
So we'll I think I can finish this game by September. Yeah, I could do that by September 1st. We'll be taking live voicemails.
Sorry,
what's up? Describe a live voicemail. Like what is?
So
exactly?
we'll have like
just a phone call.
We'll have our regular editor check in. You know what we've seen at PAX, what our time has been. Tam and Lucy have never been to PAX or Seattle, I believe, so it'll be fun. Also, we will take some voicemails from the lovely folks at home, 707 Exit Flu, and then we'll take voicemails from the lovely folks in the theater. Yes.
It's in the Blue Jay
theater.
That's level 5 of the Summit building.
Okay.
Yes. And loose plans of maybe we'll take over a bar. Maybe we'll just squat up somewhere. Maybe just in an alleyway and just play Beyblades in an alleyway. And yes, of course, we have to get a bag of dicks.
Sure.
Yeah. God, why did I just say this online?
Wait, what? Because I just that's what it was. Because I searched PAX West in my email, and the first thing I saw was a Bombcast email. It said "eat a bag of dicks," and then parentheses "in a nice way." And I'm like, that's what that was. There's a restaurant called Dick's. Okay, I'm caught up.
Have you not been in on the joke? You were joking around about this last time.
You were the dick driver last time.
Yeah, I love to drive the dick, but now I just forgot. Now I'm caught up again. I just had to do my mental inner monologue out loud on a podcast because that's how they work.
Fair.
Understood.
Fair. We work out problems, inner monologues, all on the Giant Bombcast, and we make bold declarations. Man, maybe. Oh God, why did I say that? I'm such an idiot.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I will help you finish this game, Chan.
No, see, the thing is, it's because.
What's wrong?
No, because I don't want to spoil too much. There will be fun times on the way to PAX and at PAX. I look forward to seeing all of your beautiful faces there.
It'll be good.
Hair bets. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break as I think about my words and deeds and the ramifications of them, and then we'll be back with some news.
What they wanna see, that doesn't mean they'll ever know me. I won't let them in. They keep on knocking. I won't let them in. I'll just give them the slip. You are the only one who gets me. Yeah. You are the only one who gets me. Yeah. You are the
Can you feel it in your veins? Blood, sweat, and tears. You get stronger from the pain. Can you handle the pressure when they calling out your name? 10 seconds on the clock. Shoot your shot, make it rain. See the look in my eyes. I'm in the zone. Call it out with the gloves on. We could get it on. Knock you out. Heart of a lion. Stronger than I am. I am not afraid to step in the fire. Block all the hate like a goalie. Keep shining bright like a rolling. There ain't no competition. We just gon' keep on winning. Are you ready? Let's go. You wanna win? Hustle. Play your game. How it goes? Get ready. Let's go. Go hard, go home. Go harder, 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 go home. They can't stop you. No, they can't stop you. No, they can't stop you. They can't stop you. No, they can't stop you. Don't let them stop you. Back against the wall, beating all the odds. Yeah, are you gonna score when it's time to ball? Overcome your fears. Never thought you'd make it this far. Power on overdrive. Your hunger won't let you fall. Doors opening up like a butterfly. Opportunities here. Now you decide. How bad do you want it? Do you feel it in your stomach? Are you gonna go hard or let somebody steal your moment? Are you ready? Let's go. You wanna win? Hustle. Play your game. How it goes? Get ready. Let's go. Go harder, go home. 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 Go harder, go home.
내온빛 찬란한 밤 왠지 두근거리네 오늘 밤 누구든지 사랑할 것만 같아 휘황찬란한 오늘 이 밤 느껴봐 흥분되는 이 밤 모두 다 내게 맡겨봐 지금 이 순간 음악이 날 부르네 생각은 필요 없어 처음 만났지만 좀 끌리는 건 널 알고 싶어 Baby 네가 누구든 상관없어 누구든 눈이 마주친 순간 멈출 수 없잖아 Baby 이 음악 속에 뜨거운 열기 속에 이 밤이 다가도록 나를 유혹해줘 Love me tonight Love me tonight 이대로 계속돼야 해 Love me all night Love me all night 그래 너를 원해 즐겨봐 그녀와의 something 이리 와 우리 둘이 all night 밤새 구름 위를 달려 Baby I'm so hot 황홀한 밤을 원해 you girl 간절히 너를 원해 my girl 서로에게 몸을 맡겨 흰 밤 너와 오늘이 다 지나면 잊어버리겠지만 오늘 밤 다 지나면 더는 말할 게 없어 처음 만났지만 좀 끌리는 건 널 알고 싶어 Baby 네가 누구든 상관없어 누구든 눈이 마주친 순간 멈출 수 없잖아 Baby 이 음악 속에 뜨거운 열기 속에 이 밤이 다가도록 나를 유혹해줘 Love me tonight Love me tonight 이대로 계속돼야 해 Love me all night Love me all night 그래 너를 원해 Hey lady 설레는 첫 만남 전혀 어색하지 않은 우리 각자 내숭은 그만두고 이제 서로 더 알아볼까 처음 만났지만 좀 끌리는 건 널 알고 싶어 Baby 네가 누구든 상관없어 누구든 눈이 마주친 순간 멈출 수 없잖아 Baby 이 음악 속에 뜨거운 열기 속에 이 밤이 다가도록 나를 유혹해줘 Love me tonight Love me tonight
News! This is the news of the show with Jeff Grubb. TM.
Hello. Hi, I got news for everybody. Starfield's out in a couple weeks, and you know what that means
Shit.
it's time for? It's time for everyone to freak out and have some puddle news. Pete Hines is telling fans to relax, because Starfield FUD is really just, it's up and out there. They have fears, they have uncertainties, and they have doubts, and it is just it's gripping people. For example, a couple of sites were reporting that Starfield review codes were not going to go out until September 1st. That is the same day that it goes out for early access. If you pay like the extra fee to get one of the collector's editions, you can begin playing the game on September 1st. So everyone's like, oh my God, we're not going to have reviews in time. This isn't true. According to a bunch of other sites, I wouldn't know anything about that, but a lot of other sites are implying that we may be getting review codes much earlier, maybe by the end of this week. Again, who could say for sure? But there's
no way to know. There's no way to know.
I certainly do not know, but a lot of sites are saying that. At the same time, people were like, hey, Pete Hines, why do you keep talking about these chairs that are based on Starfield? We want to know that the game has gone gold, which...
What does gold even mean anymore?
Right. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. It means something. It does mean that you have a gold master that you've sent to the disc manufacturing plant, and that is going to be the version that goes on discs. There's a gold master. That's what means.
This is
that's
a real
what going
answer.
Gold.
Okay.
Yes. That's what going gold used to mean. It still means that. It just it doesn't mean a lot for us in terms of like people playing games, because the games continue to get updates through the first several days of release, and it's just they're still going to be working on the game. They're not all going home and taking vacations yet. But Pete Hines is basically his response was that, like, take a deep breath. I have an amazing team. We know what we're doing. So he's just like, again, just relax. We're figuring out. We haven't told you it's gone gold because we don't think it's very important, or it might not have happened yet. Yeah. Games don't have to go gold up until about a week before they actually go into stores. So,
and for people who can't read between the lines, what Pete is actually saying is get fucked, nerds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. It's because he knows it's puddle news. He knows that this is just people having anxieties about something that they're excited for, that they're getting ready to spend money on. And it's a natural thing that happens more and more with games. And it happens with games that are good, bad, and everything in between. We just don't know until we're actually playing the game. But yeah, I don't know. Like, how is everyone feeling about Starfield right now? Do you even have feelings about it? Because I put it into a little compartment where it's like, I'm not even going to think about it until I'm playing it. I don't know how about you guys.
I put it away like you did.
Yeah, it's in my pocket.
Yeah,
I love those controllers, though. God, they look cool.
I got mine over there in my chair. I
like it so jealous.
They have a nice color scheme.
The
I think
watch
those are really
that they
sexy.
Announced is really neat looking, but I don't need a watch.
Oh, they got a watch?
Yes, some people might be getting a watch. Who could say? Again,
Whoa,
who could say?
Come on, man. I used to get all that cool shit. Who could say that they maybe got that email and then didn't tell Bacalar about it and just took it themselves? Who could say? I couldn't say. Well, why should I get it over you? I don't understand that.
I'm just saying I got the email. So
you
like,
love being stranded in space. Who else would it go to?
Oh man. You know. Anyway.
Yes. So other than like getting excited, like, hey, eventually we're going to be playing this game pretty soon. Yes, not much to think about because I don't know. People want to have opinions about stuff before they played it, but that's pretty dumb. Don't do that. You could just wait a couple more days and figure it out for yourself once you've actually gotten your hands on it. And it's in Game Pass, so you don't even have to like pay a lot to do that. Baldur's Gate 3 almost surpassed Hogwarts Legacy's Steam record. 10 days post-release, Baldur's Gate 3 record peaked at concurrent players of 875,343. That's according to Steam database. The popularity boosted by Larian Studios' RPG reputation and influencers pushing simultaneous online play. Basically, the game is just catching on everywhere. It's catching on social media. It's catching on Twitch. It's catching on in like people's Discords. And that word of mouth has just really set fire to the game. And it's got very close to Hogwarts Legacy's 879,308 concurrent players. So basically, like right in that same range. Like they're almost tied, which is the 8th highest of all time on Steam. But the highest for this year was Hogwarts Legacy. Other games that might have like if you were like looking for a point of comparison, it's the 8th highest ever. What other games have done really well? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds one time had 3.25 million concurrent players. Cyberpunk has the record for single player games with 1.05 million concurrent players all at one time. So nothing quite to that level yet. The idea that Baldur's Gate 3 is even anywhere close to that is still surprising to me. So a lot of people playing it. And what do you guys like chalk that up to? Because I didn't see a big marketing campaign. It really is just people talking about it, right?
Purely that, it feels like. And then just maybe folks bouncing off of Diablo 4 and not having like a fantasy style game. I think we've talked about it on Game Miss Mornings a couple times, but D&D has also grown in a major way in popularity. Like there's D&D podcasts for every type of flavor of D&D, right?
Yep.
Except
really
a wrestling based quest of D&D, as far as I know.
I've seen some headlines about this. I haven't had a chance to read the stories, but also it does feel like sort of the horniness finding its footing in the mainstream in a really strong way. Obviously, the bear fucking, everyone points that out. And I don't think anyone's joking when they like making something that feels like an online /fic or even like a grocery store like romance novel, but treating it with a ton of care and presenting it in a way that's like, of course you want to be playing in this universe with. And then, like, playing with sexual ideas. Like, that's stuff that is, like, I think really appealing and hasn't had a lot of chance to feel acceptable. And this game has really gone a long way towards doing that, I think. And it's reaping the rewards.
Yeah, I mean, it's like folks that say movies shouldn't have romance scenes or any intimacy, right? Because it does nothing for the plot. And it's like, well,
go fuck yourself.
Exactly. Go touch grass and I'm not going to finish that rhyme. But like, having that type of thing in a game adds to like people's escapism, right?
Sure.
Of like, hey, I walked in on a very intimate scene between an ogre and another ogre. Ow.
Yeah. I would like to see that.
I cannot get anyone to have sex with my character, though. I don't know what I did wrong. No one likes her. They're like Astarion was like, oh, yes, I'm very interested in hooking up. Just not with you, obviously. Like, he said it like that. And I was like, okay, man.
Are you failing the, like, boner rolls? Like, what's going on here?
Failing every boner roll. My boner stats shit.
Can we title the podcast?
Beef up my boner stats.
Failing boner rolls? Yeah, I think we can do that.
Failing boner rolls is absolutely acceptable.
Okay, all right.
There you go. You heard it. Your boner stats. All right, let's see. Where am I at? We now know who Embracer's failed $2 billion deal was with. Swedish company's major deal collapsed unexpectedly in May, leading to a significant reduction in its earnings forecast. Axios, so Stephen Totilo over there, did some reporting and identified that the party was Savvy, which is, of course, Saudi Arabia's game group. Embracer CEO stated the deal broke down after 7 months of negotiations, and it would have been worth $2 billion, and then that money just, went away overnight. There's no direct explanation of why Savvy pulled out, why they were like, we're going to drop this deal. We could speculate that maybe they're not so certain about Embracer's future, and I think that that's a pretty easy assumption to make. That became reality as soon as this deal stopped. Like didn't go through. Embracer was in serious trouble. Now they're in cost cutting mode. But also it just feels like, I don't know, Saudi Arabia might also be second guessing like their strategy of sending money all over the place into all these game studios. But maybe not. Maybe it's just Embracer as a specific example. Do you guys think Embracer Group gonna still be a thing in a couple of years?
That's a really difficult thing. You're just sort of throwing darts at a dartboard here.
Yeah,
right?
it's really, yes, because I mean, they could always skate by, but I mean, I don't know. It feels like at the same time that they might just try to fire sale and get their way out of there, because it's tough to imagine a future where they are making enough games to pay for all that they have going on, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Divesting makes sense, I think.
They've had some successful games. None are coming to mind right now. I know for a fact they had a couple this year that did very well, like surprisingly good. But they, like, in the fallout of that, they were like, we still have to cut costs because we're nowhere near making enough profit, even though we do have these successful games. And it's like, okay, so they would have to have like 10 times the amount of successful games for this whole thing to make sense. And that's where it makes it seem like divesting is maybe their only option, or selling to someone else that isn't Saudi Arabia. Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming early. Ubisoft moved Assassin's Creed Mirage release to October 5th from its original date of October 12th. It's coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. This does help it get out ahead of Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which were all coming out basically around the exact same time. And I think if one of those games had to move, it was probably right that it's Assassin's Creed Mirage, right? That felt like the one that was going to get forgotten out of those games. I don't know,
Man,
like, do you guys have a tier list?
If you asked me what the subtitle of Assassin's Creed was, like yesterday, I don't think I could do it for $1 million.
I think that I've had multiple people in Game S Mornings who I know we've talked about Mirage before and be like, what is that? And we have to like look it up and stuff like multiple times now.
I would have lost every bet. Oh God, yes.
You would have had to
obviously.
shave your head.
I would have had to grown. I would have had to grow out all my hair. It's crazy that I did not remember what that was. But yeah, obviously it needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, I just for me, I would play Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder all before Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I'm a little bit interested in Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yeah, I'm Assassin's Creed curious all over again, but I would sooner circle back to something like Hi-Fi Rush or Octopath.
Wow, that's high praise.
Yeah.
Bailey, when you're like sketching out like a general schedule for doing Honest Games trailers, do you like look at these games and like does one stand out as the one that you have to do first, or?
Oh, God. I mean, the timing of it is really just about like, it's not really about like which one do I want to do first, but which one do I think I can finish first.
Sure,
and like
that makes sense.
the order. I have another writer who works with me who takes the lead on scripts every other week.
Right.
And so it's divvying up, like he has to do Alan Wake because it's a scary game, so I'm not going to be able to get through it the way he can, etc. And
Bailey,
so
what are
it's
you
more,
doing for the month of
a little bit
October, huh?
I'm dying is what I'm doing. I'm just playing a million games all at once and not seeing anyone I know and just trying so hard to write jokes about them, but then forgetting how jokes works and then reading all the comments and getting sad because no one thinks I'm funny.
I've never played Fatal Frame, and I've always been very curious about Fatal Frame. I'm also a scaredy cat. Maybe I can convince you.
Scariest game I can play is Inscription. I'm just so afraid all the time with video games, and I love horror movies and TV shows. But if there's a big horror game coming out, I give it to the other guy. I can't do it. I have a coward's heart.
That's surprising. I know a few people who have similar behavior where they're like, I love horror yet cannot play horror video games.
Yeah, I need that fourth wall division between me and the horror. If there's like a horror I have to actively participate in, I simply will not do it. I'll be like, well, the way to not do the horror is to hide underneath this table or whatever.
Yeah, the only way to play only way to win is not to play. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I just can't.
Yeah,
Reverse.
and people do fall into these different like buckets, right? Like some people are like, I don't like the horror movies, but the games I can play. And there's people like me who's like, I'm just scared of everything. Everything frightens me. I will see a horror movie like in a theater, so then the ghost isn't in my house. And but playing a video game, it just feels like, I don't know, it's gonna look at me and say my name out loud, and then I'm gonna die or something.
That'd be something.
I'm actively antagonizing any and every ghost I can come across.
Oh, piss ghosts off, dude. Piss them off.
Yeah.
I mean, why else are they there? If they didn't want to be pissed off, they would have left.
That's
my opinion on that.
I saw that sketch on I Think You Should Leave, and it just resonated with me ever since.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. It's all adults here.
So, Mirage coming out October 5th. THQ has a new South Park game, which should sound familiar because, boy, they had the THQ used to have South Park games. THQ Nordic announced a new South Park game, South Park Snow Day, revealed during Friday's live stream, which THQ Nordic basically updated all their other games, and this is like, I think, the one new game that they had. It's a 3D co-op adventure set in snowy South Park, releases in 2024 for PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. Features Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny. 4-player co-op.
Who? The guys.
Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny.
The boys.
What do each of them sound like? Do impressions right now.
They just sound like normal human men. Is what they sound like.
That's cool.
Men.
Yeah. They're 4-player. It's 4-player co-op to save the world on a snow day. What does that mean? I don't know. Is it like a horde mode?
Snow
game?
Day, like the Josh Peck movie?
Listen,
Oh, deep
we're-
cut. I had the soundtrack to that on CD and it was fine.
we haven't been good enough to deserve anything related to Josh Peck's Snow Day. So no, it's completely
Okay.
different. Yes,
the
this
other
is
title for Oppenheimer.
Stick of Truth came out in 2014. Was well received.
That was
Fractured
good.
The Whole.
Yeah.
Yes, came out after that. Was about this received about the same actually. A little bit lower review scores, but just a touch. But both of those were Ubisoft after Ubisoft acquired
All right.
the rights to these in the fire sale the last time THQ went under.
Right.
So now South Park back at THQ where it belongs. It does feel like that's the right fit because South
Yeah.
Park's just like, the same sort of vibe as at least the games as like those Nickelodeon licensed games that THQ used to do as well. So yeah, we're getting it. Can I ask, Bacalar, you and I kind of grew up at a time when South Park was coming to prominence. Jen,
Sure.
you weren't too far behind. Bailey, you like, what do you guys feel about South Park as a property?
Okay. I'll be brave. I'll be brave and
I'm
speak
all over
first.
I'm all over the place with it. But
I was
yeah.
gonna say, right now I don't like it. I just don't like it at all anymore.
Here.
I haven't watched it recently, but yeah.
I enjoy Family Guy more.
Okay. I
Um,
mean,
Said
you know-
nothing and everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear. Yeah. Way to not answer that. Bailey, I'm curious to hear your.
I'm feeling
take,
Bonita
Bailey.
today, guys.
I was never a South
'cause you are
Park
Bonita.
person to begin with. And
Right.
I think in the year of our Lord 2023, anyone who's still watching South Park, while I'm sure they're a very nice person, maybe has the sense of humor of someone from several decades ago, like a time traveler, except for they haven't time traveled. They've been here the whole time. They've just chosen not to grow as an individual.
That seems cutting and probably true.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't find it very funny anymore. That is my big issue with it. is
anymore, right? So,
Yeah,
but
it's a
when was the
time
last
at a
time you
time.
watched it?
I tried it definitely in the last year. I watched it for the first time in probably 10 years it had been. And I'm like, I can't remember what happened. Maybe it was the Casa Bonita stuff where they bought that restaurant in Denver that I was always interested in because I was living in the area. And I'm like, oh, I should check in on South Park. And I watched one of the new episodes and I just didn't find it very funny at all. And
Yeah.
so I was like, man, I do remember enjoying this more. But and I don't know if the show got worse or if I've grown as an individual. And I like to
I've
think
heard
it's that.
I've heard so many conflicting reports, right? Like it does seem to
Yeah.
be this very sort of like dubious entity, right? Where like I
Yeah.
just can't make heads or tails of it. I know there was a time where like it was must watch weekly viewing for sure. And I was definitely
it was
part.
subversive at a time. Yeah.
Yeah,
back
like
in-
I was around for that, like for
Yeah.
sure. But I don't know. I think there were like a couple seasons where like it really kind of had something to say, and I'm talking like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Book of Mormon is very good.
Yeah,
I
see,
really
I like
enjoy it.
basketball. Yeah, basketball I like too.
Basketball's fun, right?
Yeah,
like
it's fun and stupid. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't put it in like this bad category though. I don't put it in like this sort of like I can't allow that to exist kind of category.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
will.
say things shouldn't exist. I just
No,
don't
I
think
didn't say
it's very
that-
funny.
No, I wasn't saying that you were doing that.
I'm taking a hard stand here and saying any media I don't like should be wiped off the face of the earth. That's what you're saying.
That's actually
I
not the
get it.
worst. That's actually not the worst idea. No, like I do, but I do at the same time I do think there is comedy that like is remarkably sort of ageless. I don't think South Park is necessarily that though. But I do think there is comedy out there that does span
Simpsons episode
generations.
when Homer gets hired by Hank Scorpio.
Yeah,
is-
like Simpsons, I think magically pulls it off. Like I'm definitely
Yeah, I've never seen any
Uh,
South Park clips on TikTok, and I've seen a lot of Family Guy on there. So
Hey.
maybe,
Yeah, but it might not have broken through yet, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
that's-
Then
you know.
it could be, and it's just not in my algorithm.
Yeah,
So.
I used to hold Family Guy in an incredibly high.
Yo, they got a
Oh, yeah,
baby
for
that
sure.
talks.
The
That's
Adult Swim?
wild. And
Well,
a
what's
dog
funny
that
is-
talks. What?
When Grubb and I were in college was the time where Family Guy like was originally canceled. So like if you had
Yep.
those DVDs, you were like, you know,
we we watched them on DVD, but then like Adult Swim
Right.
started airing it. It's like, and then everyone started watching it,
And that
became
was
this huge
it,
They
yeah.
brought it back. Yeah.
hell yeah.
All right. Let's see. Netflix is adding game streaming to TV. It's weird. They're doing a limited beta test starting in Canada and the UK on select TVs from select manufacturers, and that's beginning today. It's also coming to PC and Macs as well. The initial test will include Oxenfree and Molehue's Mining Adventure. Let's just stick with Oxenfree. You might be wondering, how do you play this? How do you interact with it? You're probably going to connect your Xbox controller, right? Wrong.
Sure.
No.
No.
You're going to
Oh,
use your
what?
phone as a controller.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
It shows-
Oxenfree though, as a
right.
as
So Oxenfree does make sense. That's right. That's one where that would work. But that is not a solution for most other games. But they do show it's like it's going to have a digital analog stick, digital buttons right there on your phone. You're going to hold it like that. I just don't know who that's for so much. But I mean, if it's for somebody, they're testing it.
You know, I would never have thought there's a good chunk of people that use the apps on a smart TV, let alone use a smart TV. But like, that's a big audience.
It's
a huge audience.
Yes.
And I think like, I don't know. I do think the time of like they're all broken is a bit over, right?
Sure.
Like they work.
Everyone's just using Roku or Google TV. And
Yeah,
both of
although
those
I
work
fucking
fine.
hate Roku's. I think they suck. I think they're terrible.
Yeah, I
think
prefer
they're
Google
clunky.
TV, but I
you
know a
want
lot
to
of
live
people
in
prefer
Roku
Roku.
City?
No, I moved out of Roku City. My property value has plummeted. Yeah, it's crazy. I think Roku's garbage. I don't know why that was ever really super popular. Maybe because it was like the first one to the
It
party.
definitely was better than built-in, like the LG WebOS or whatever that they use.
Sure,
it was better than that for a while, but that stuff has caught up and it's mostly fine.
Yeah, and but to the idea of like why is Netflix doing this? You know, like when you have your module installed on like 100 million televisions by default, like you got to figure out a way to sneak it in there, right? Like
Yes,
it's already there.
Right. So this is them like looking for diversification. They pretty much tapped out what is physically possible for them to do with the amount of money that they're going to spend on content for movies and TV. And the growth there has plateaued. It's plateaued. They started dipping and they're like, okay, well, where are some categories we can grow in? They've identified games as one of those potential areas. It's just like, what does that look like? And they're doing a slow burn compared to Google and, don't even remember what it was called. Stadia, compared to what Google did with Stadia, where it's like, we're going to completely replace your consoles and everything's going to be different. Yes.
I just got the refund for Stadia.
Oh, did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I had it connected to like an old credit card or something.
I bought like a couple games on there, but they sent me everything else. So I don't know. I don't even know if I went through the steps to get a refund. But Netflix is like just trying to see if they can figure this out without spending a ton of money up front. So these tests are fine. I would be curious to hear who is playing Oxenfree on their TV using a phone as a controller. I bet it's going to be people that don't run in the same circles as me, and that's fine if that's how that's going to work. But
you don't sit with the cool kids at lunch, Jeff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, with the cool people who like, yeah, don't have video game controllers like completely piled across their home and stuff.
Yeah.
I do always wonder, like, what is, like, this seems like the problem. How do you, like, you could beam whatever you want to a person's TV. How are they going to interact with it? The controller is the actual problem for companies like Netflix and even like Xbox wanting to stream stuff to people's TVs. Like, are people even going to go through the effort? Like, oh, yeah, they have a PlayStation 5 and they want to play an Xbox game. Well, just stream it to your TV. Are they even going to connect their PS5 controller to their TV to play your game? I bet most people think that's too much of a hassle. I'm not going to do that. So Netflix trying to find an easier solution there. I don't blame them. I just don't know if this is the right answer. Metroid Dread developer has 2 unannounced games. Mercury Steam developing 2 undisclosed titles. Information from earnings of Nordisk Games, a minority stakeholder in Mercury Steam. One of the suspected games is a fantasy game with 505, publisher 505 Games. That's been previously like talked about, even if it hasn't been fully announced yet. The other one, everyone is assuming, is likely a Metroid Dread sequel or some sort of follow-up. But that's an assumption. There's no confirmation there, although I'm getting my hopes up because I think that would make a lot of sense. This is the studio that did make Metroid Dread, and that's the best-selling Metroid game ever now. It sold more than 3 million copies. No Metroid has ever sold better than that. So you could assume that they probably will want to continue that partnership, and I hope they do. Even though there were some reports of chaotic development at Mercury Steam, they've denied that, although it probably, allegedly it happened, maybe probably did. And hopefully they can iron that stuff out and just kind of keep this partnership going because those games were good. And, chaotic development happens at seemingly every studio. So hopefully it's like identify the problems, deal with them, make a better game next time. That would be fantastic. I don't know. Everyone here Metroid Dread fans?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed that game. So, hoping that we get more of it. That would be very cool. Rockstar acquires role-playing tools. Rockstar Games has acquired CFX.RE, the creators of the popular GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 modding tools.
Yeah.
CFX.RE is behind Rockstar's role-playing community 5M and Red M. The official announcement showed up on Rockstar's website, where they praised the creative community for Rockstar Games for expanding what's possible in the games. They recognize the dedicated role-playing servers' growth, and they are, and they've also confirmed that they're going to expand mod policy to kind of incorporate this stuff going forward. Something that has been a problem in the past, where Rockstar tried to basically crush these role-playing mods and accuse them of like cheating and stuff like that. That got settled out of court at one point, and so since then they've been on like this equilibrium between the two. Well, now that's all out the window. Rockstar is just, we're buying you. This has to all be about GTA 6 incorporating role-playing stuff from the get-go, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Like-
That stuff is still so incredibly popular on Twitch. Oh my God. I always wanted to get into that thing, but that's the time suck that I feel like I just don't have either.
Right.
I saw this late last week, right? This news came out maybe?
Yep, that's right.
Really, I feel like people might be sleeping on how big of a deal this is.
Yeah, it's got to look like you open up the game and there's GTA 6 and there's GTA Online, and I wouldn't be surprised if right next to GTA Online is GTA Roleplay.
Yeah, just RP.
Like just
right?
another option there on the menu, and it's like there will be a ton of approved servers, and I bet CFX.RE, this modding group, I bet they continue to run their own thing, and then maybe they bring in like NoPixel, which is the big server that all the big content creators are in, that is very hard to get into. I guess they have a public server as well, but their private one that is the one that everyone watches. They probably get directly incorporated as well. Maybe there's some incentivization there or something like that. This is one of the things that is keeping GTA 6 or GTA 5 so relevant, that of course they were going to want to bring this in at some point. And yeah, I just wonder what it ends up looking like. It's a big question. You guys think we're playing GTA 6 next year?
No.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Bailey,
Calling
I
the
like
shot.
the
And
enthusiasm.
if not, she'll shave her head.
Yeah. I'll
They-
fly
you
out to
know-
PAX West just for it.
Take-Two did say that they're expecting to make $8 billion in revenue compared to the $5 billion, which was a record for them that they're making this year. And it's hard to imagine that's possible without GTA 6, but they said that's until March of 2025, so maybe it slips into the first quarter of that year. I guess that's possible as well. Or it gets a huge delay. It could just get delayed as well.
Man, they're gonna be rolling in it. Grubb, weren't we talking about Rockstar saying like, oh, we're gonna do big numbers in the next year? This
Yeah,
is
that's exactly
it, right? This is 100% it. Oh man,
It's probably this and a couple other things like Civ 7 and stuff like that. A bunch of stuff probably happening at the same time. They've never publicly said anything about GTA 6. Not really, not in any real way. I still feel like that game does get announced for next year at some point, or the first quarter of 2025, and then I do think it probably gets a delay before it actually comes out. But we'll see.
Rockstar Pickleball.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Put that out first. That's what we need.
I mean, oh god.
Is pickleball taking over your community, Bacalar?
It has, especially my wife, but I've not. I've still not played. Like I know everything about it,
Sure.
but
You're basically an expert.
yeah, just like with Cowboy Bebop, like barely have to touch it to be an expert.
Uh-huh.
I know I'll love it, because it's just big table tennis. But then you to think about like that Rockstar table tennis game and like what that did for like a year, right? Like what the dominance that game demonstrated, right? Put that into pickleball with just like the same bullshit, right? With like
that.
the color coded, tails on the ball, right? Like, dude, yes. I mean, I realize that's very low on the priority list, but still, please.
Honestly,
Make
at this
that
point,
game.
Just give me table tennis backward compat if they haven't done that yet, which I don't.
Oh
think they
shit.
have. Overwatch 2 got crushed on Steam. It's out on Steam now. They released on Thursday. It was met with over 25,000 reviews from players, and it got an overwhelmingly negative review score from those 25,000 reviews. Only 14% of reviews are positive. It's just getting stepped on.
And not even the fun way.
Not even in a fun way, no.
Yeah,
I hate to see it.
they have made like every conceivable misstep with this one. It
Seems
seems
that way.
like, yeah, it's like just a sideshow Bob Rakes situation, just
Yes, it is.
nonstop failure of their own device, and
Yep.
it's wow, it's almost impressive. It feels like they're doing it on purpose at this point.
Yeah.
Right. It's like some sort of the producer's scheme, right? Like they're doing this
Yeah.
to take the insurance money or something. Players are obviously criticizing the free-to-play structure, something that's been a problem with Overwatch 2 and going free-to-play for a while now. They also dislike that the hero missions that were much hyped got removed. Of course, that
Right.
old news, but that stuff is still very sore spot because they've not. What happens is that stuff got announced, got canceled, and fans were mad at that time. But since they're like, this is a game you're supposed to continue to be playing, and it's like they've done nothing really to fill in that gap that people feel has now been created because that stuff got canceled, except for with some single player, or PvE stuff that was like the older PvE stuff. It's like, oh, here's some missions you can do kind of offline against the CPU, and these are they have stories in them, but they're $15 extra, and it's not the full content that they were promising to make originally, the full PvE campaign. This is just smaller stuff, but they're charging $15 extra, and fans are like, man, we've already felt burned by this, and now you want us to pay for things that we kind of don't even really want. Or we're definitely not happy with. And so, yeah, the game's just getting crushed. Overwatch 2 is a big, important thing for Blizzard. You got to imagine that they have had long-term plans for this, and it's like, what do they do now? They just have to. I think they have to just grin and bear it and try to fix it, right?
Yeah, that's the steepest hill to climb for that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bummer because we made an attempt to throw it down on a Thursday with TF2, and even though it took a while to get a server up and running, and we kind of didn't really get a server up and running, I still had fun playing TF2 with the community.
Yeah, same.
And it made me wish, like, oh, I wish there was a version of Team Fortress 2 with all these classes. It's more modernized. It's easier to group up with people. And then I thought about Overwatch, and I got sad.
Yeah,
I feel sad.
Exactly. Apparently, the most recent review on Overwatch 2 is an ASCII art version of Mario taking a poop. So,
Okay.
Well,
That
link
probably wrapped
that, Grubb,
Oh,
please.
at least there's some artistry in this then.
Exactly. There we go. All right, moving on. Keith David will succeed Lance Reddick as Commander Zavala in Destiny. The voice actor change for Commander Zavala in Destiny will have Keith David replacing him. The character's going to stick around. Reddick voiced the character since its inception. He passed away, of course, recently at 60 years old. Rest in peace. Bungie announced the plans to have the character continue. Obviously, the voice actors for Zavala and all the other languages are still around. So it's like we probably should find a way to maintain this. Keith David is stepping into that role. He did a nice message saying how much he looked up to Lance Reddick, and now he's taking over. And I loved Lance Reddick. I love Keith David. I think this is great stuff. And Keith David, just anytime I
David's
see him,
wonderful.
just
He's the best.
wonderful.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments, maybe in my life, but in video games, is Keith David playing himself in Saints Row and then getting in a fight with Roddy Piper, just like in They Live. And man, I just love just hanging out in this game with Keith David and Roddy Piper. It's great stuff. So
I really liked him in The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, he was great.
great.
Yeah. Watch
He's
that all
great
the
in
time with the kids.
everything. He's
know-
great in
Great in
Future
everything.
Man. He's just a good actor, but
Yeah,
and also
he's
a
been
good
around
voice
forever.
actor, and he's been around forever. I love him, and obviously it's a devastating reason for him to have any role.
Yes,
but
of
if
course.
anyone's going to have it, I think he is the best possible choice they could have made.
Agreed. Yeah,
Keith
agreed. And again,
David
he put up a very
also
respectful thing.
A
Yeah.
very strong part of the last season of Community. I think
Oh, really?
True.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I think
Yes,
his
he was
bit,
Spawn.
his bit about being the best wedding guest holds true, and I've maintained that. I don't want to give the gig away, but hey, it informs how I handle a lot of my day to day.
Huh.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, he was also in Mass Effect. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Goliath and Gargoyles. God, Keith David fucking rules.
Right?
So yes, again, ripped Lance Reddick, and long live Zavala and all that stuff. All right, let's see here. Nintendo patents, loading screen, and more from Tears of the Kingdom. Nintendo has issued patents or has requested patents for multiple features in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. In particular, it wants for stuff like Ultra Hand and the fuse ability, stuff that might be tough to enforce or whatever, because we've seen
that's
similar
just
stuff
glue.
before.
Yeah,
It's
what
just
the
glue.
fuck? You can't fucking patent goo.
Well, they're gonna try. It really comes down to
sounds
how
like
they try to
stuff.
enforce it, but it's Nintendo. They love to enforce stuff. So the big one that they're enforcing or that they're going for that they might get is the loading screen when you fast travel, where it's like when you initiate a fast travel and it goes to load and it shows you on the map where you're coming from and then where you're going, which is
No.
something that I find very useful. They shouldn't be able to. Like, listen, I don't like any of these patents. This stuff sucks, but I love that feature.
Of
Every
course.
time I do the fast travel and in that loading moment, I'm like, wait, where am I going? Why did I do this? And then the map loads. I'm like, oh yeah, that little thing on the map, that's where I was going. So yeah.
So like the process of being awarded a patent, right? Like who's the governing body?
It's
That
different
like
in every country, but it's the USPTO, the US Patents and Trademark Office.
so is there some sort of like judge or something or like a committee that's like is this a thing?
I think it's like a committee, yes, and they will look for the novelty of the patent. They will give like a public response period where people will be like, we did a similar idea long before this, so you cannot patent this because this idea existed previously. It's weird in video games. You have to patent very specific implementations because you can't patent ideas. Ideas can't be
Yeah,
patented.
that's more
Yes.
like copyright territory.
Right. So they're trying. These companies are always interested in blurring the lines because patents are very easy to monetize and to weaponize against other companies, and so they're good tools for lawyers to have. Lawyers really like them. Everyone else hates them. For the most part, they do expire after 20 years, which is way better than copyright. Copyright's like forever and ever, and then plus forever after you die.
70 years.
Yeah,
I
and
wanna
then
say.
yes, 70 years after death, or yeah, I think so. So yeah, that's just forever. But patents after 20 years, it's all fair game. But even still, that's way too long for ideas in video. Like the Nemesis system is the one that everyone always points to. That has a patent, which is why you haven't seen it in other video games, and that's stupid. We should see it in other video
Did they
games.
know that if they file the patent, they can implement that system too? Like
No, the idea is that they
apparently
license it out.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
no, but
well,
they
maybe-
themselves. You know, what if Gotham had
sure.
nemesis?
Sure.
Apparently, they don't know that. So yes, that's where we're at.
I'm sorry, but these just make me mad. They make me mad. They're like
you should
predatory
be.
and like fucking stupid, squatty bullshit. Stop
Yes,
being
it's-
stupid.
Right, it's squatting. It's just we want these in case we see a game that we get mad about, and then we can threaten them with these patents. That's all it is.
Infuriating. It prevents the growth of art, and it is greedy and shitty. And don't
Yep.
do it, Nintendo. Mr. Nintendo, are you listening to our podcast? Don't do it.
We're
Yep, they
God's
probably
favorite
won't ever-
podcast, please.
It's not gonna stick.
They some of them might, some of them probably won't. But we will probably never hear about them again. That's probably what will happen. Other companies will probably find other ways to do something very similar. Someone mentioned in chat, like in the Twitch chat, the Printy Dude says the Machine Games loading screen for like an Indiana Jones thing where he's like flying from one place to another. Like you could probably do exactly that because that idea is from the movie and predates what they did with Tears of the Kingdom, and it's a different implementation of a similar idea. So that probably wouldn't be covered under the patent, but Nintendo has the patent. They could still threaten to sue, and that might be enough to undo a lot of that stuff. That's the concern, is like, what are Nintendo's lawyers going to use these things for? That does it for the news. I'm all done over here. Thanks for humoring me, everybody. Back to you,
Glad
Jen.
you ended on one that wasn't infuriating. God.
Yeah, that's my speciality.
Well, speaking about specialities, around this time, our speciality is taking a break, and we'll be back with emails and shout-outs. And shout-outs. Fill out the doc now, I guess. No, fill out the doc when the email music hits.
Wait,
See
when
you in a
does it
bit.
stop? I thought you stopped it soon.
No,
It doesn't start it.
We don't start it until the email music starts. All right.
Mm-hmm.
See you after this.
滲む傷の色淡い記憶巡り巡り見つけたよ偶然が突き出す希望のハンデーション君を呼ぶ声が空に響く離れたって離さない運命だって変えてみせる前を向いて進めずっと二人で夢の続き
She's hot, so sweet, the kind of girl I wanna meet. Sexy thighs, long legs, what a girl, she turns heads. She's got her eyes on you. Hold on tight, there's nothing you can do. Whoa, she's primeval. Whoa, she's primeval. She's on fire, burning steam. Treat you bad to keep you keen. A real woman, hot lover, can't escape. No, she's got her eyes on you. Hold on tight, there's nothing you can do. Whoa, she's primeval. Whoa, she's primeval. Whoa, primeval. Whoa, primeval.
Stretch check. When is the last time you stretched? Just go do it now, everybody. Just lean a little bit to the left. Ah, yes, good. Lean a bit to the right. Ah, yes, good. It's good. It's good. Flex the arms. Wiggle it. Take your arm. Pretend like you're stirring a big, big pot of soup with each arm. That'll be a fun little stretch. Because now it is the final stretch of the show. Emails for the show. This is when we read emails from you. Bombcast at giantbomb.com. That's right.
Beautiful.
Bombcast.
Did you write that yourself?
Oh yeah, you know, freestyle that off the dome because that was so impressive.
God gifted it to him as a
Wow.
thank you for this
God's
his favorite
podcast.
Yeah,
That's right. Bless hands and everything, and all that jazz. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. You can send emails about virtually any and everything all at once.
Well, okay,
Wow,
sure.
within reason.
Sure.
Hey, you know,
Sure.
it clogs up several people's email boxes, and I hate that I get
filter that
notifications for it. I hate that I get
I filter
notifications for it. First email comes from, I believe, Alex, and they write about PSA grading. Hi there.
Oh.
I've been an avid trading card collector for going on 30 years now. Everything from Pokemon to Digimon, basketball, football, etc. Over the past few years, I've been able to offload large swaths of my childhood collections, mostly Pokemon, for thousands of dollars due primarily to the PSA grades I was able to earn on each. I say that to illustrate how I can absolutely understand why someone might think they need to grade every potentially valuable card they pull in the year of our Lord, 2023. See, God's favorite podcast. I can't advise against this enough. Modern cards graded by PSA simply will not hold nearly the value down the line that their counterparts from the 90s and 2000s do. Let's take two cards, for example. The base set 2 Charizard Holo, number 4, released in 2000, and the Brilliant Stars Charizard V-Star, number 18, released just a year ago in 2022. The base set 2 Charizard has a total graded population of 10,000, with the number of total PSA 10s at 62.6%, while the number of 7s or below come at 6,000, 66% of total population. The Brilliant Stars Charizard V-Star already has a total pop of 4,000, with the number of total PSA 10s at a staggering 2,000. Well, the number of 7s or below come at 107. See, this is what happens when folks say no more wrestling talk. We get into even dumber talk, all right?
Yeah.
We get
I was told there would be no math on this
Wait a second. So people are like, what are we talking? We're just talking about the amount of cards graded at this number out there in the wild.
The cards
PSA, PSA being the most commonly used grading authority, is the one controlling the population of these things and doing the reporting. That is what this emailer is talking about.
Yeah, I don't think it's at all surprising to say old thing is old, right? That's basically what we're saying here.
No, but what this
old
person
thing
is
more
saying,
valuable because they're not as great.
Right, but old things when in collecting will always be more valuable because they're inherently more rare, right?
I think Pokemon exists a bit in a vacuum, though, because
it sucks. Just kidding.
No, well, I didn't say that.
I like
but
Pokemon.
Maybe it's more of a discussion, but I do think the older Pokemon stuff, right? Obviously, because when we were growing up, everyone ripped packs and they just like tossed their cards into like a drawer or whatever. And then like 20 years later, you're like, oh my God, this is probably worth something. You get it graded, it comes back a 6 and it's like worth nothing. Whereas if you have like the emailer is writing, if you have something that's like very old but grades 9 or higher, you're in the money. So that is like the inverse rarity diagram for that stuff. But now, where everyone is ripping packs hoping to get a card that they can grade, guess what? You and everyone's mother is doing that. So that's the whole story, I guess. But I think it's different though, because the scarcity is not as much of a thing, right, as it is with like numbered cards and stuff like that. You know, it's more quality focused, I think.
As soon as you rip like a new pack, you're grading that instantly if you think it's a rare, just like the emailer saying. But then they continue on with the cards from our youth that grade well are incredibly valuable because none of us were grading these cards back then. Most of them got tossed in boxes or closets, unprotected, only see the light of day when we all went into lockdown some 20 to 30 years after we ripped them. In my opinion, it's not worth the money or time right now to grade these cards being newer cards, unless you plan on selling them short term. I love you all, and please, more collectible talk from the Deegan twins, Jerf and Jay.
I think that's a fair opinion to have. It'd be like, it's not worth the time. In my opinion, none of this is worth your time. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, look, I got bit by that bug again during the pandemic a little bit. And like, you know, I mean, the new Marvel Masterpiece boxes are now going for $900 a box. And that came out like 2 weeks ago.
Those are some thick boys.
They're thick puppies. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Which leads me to the conclusion, my friends, is that we need to make our own trading cards.
Okay, they do this for K-pop people. Is that correct, Bailey?
Yeah.
They definitely do. Yeah, of course
Those
they
are
do.
just called people, Jan. You don't have to say K-pop people.
Okay.
Like
K-people.
Well, I mean, they do them for baseball players, baseball people too, also.
Yeah. puck people, all kinds of people.
Baseball people aren't people though, so that's the difference.
No, they're just not athletes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
course
kidding. What I would say though, right, is that we need to make our own. And have I looked into this? A little bit. And
only
I
if
don't.
we can have like a hollow effect on them, though.
Oh, without a doubt, Jen, we're all getting our 1-of-1 specials, buddy.
We could just it could be like what, like maybe 50 cards, 100 cards, and like there's just variations of us, so like the Muppet versions of us. And
Well,
then
I think there should be like, you know, there'll be a base,
Sure.
right, where it's like the 1 through 50. Let's
and
call it
then a
1 through
frame
50. Let's not get ahead of it. And then parallels of each of those 1 through 50s, right? And then like 51 to 60 will be like dumbest things Dan said. Each one of those gets like
Sure.
a 10 little collectible of that, and we'll just do that. So if anyone out there knows anyone who can help us make these cards, I would love to do this. Not because we want to create some sort of artificial market and like jack up the price or anything, just because we want to have fun. Just want to have fun. Like, who wants exactly, Seraphis, a 1-of-1 Mitch Tokoto foot card? Could you imagine you've got the foot card?
God, he's gonna be like
Unfortunately,
Exodia. You fully assemble Mitch Tolkoto and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh boy.
I would like to get
Post
into this.
Malone owns the 1 foot card. Yeah.
So if anyone, yeah, he's got it. So reach out if you're in this business.
Just give me a Quackaga card, please.
Yeah.
All right. Next email. Something just as valuable as trading cards. Nathan from Tumwater, Washington writes in. Which fast food place has the best condiments?
Arby's.
Arby's has got like the most interesting ones, right? A horsey sauce and Arby's sauce. I
What
like
is a
those.
horsey sauce?
It's a horseradish sauce.
Yeah,
That's
horseradish.
why they call it horsey
Oh.
sauce.
Oh,
It's
that
good.
makes-
It goes on their beefs.
Yep.
On their beefs.
The beeves.
The closest Arby's to me is 45 miles away.
Man, you
Oh.
live in just a wasteland.
A hell of a commute.
I'm
Just,
kind of proud of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Just that you do. How dare you? I will defend. I'll go get my Arby's beef jumpsuit right now. I have it somewhere in this house. I don't know where, but I'll find it.
45
Wingstop,
minutes away, not miles. Minutes away.
Wingstop Ranch for me.
Yeah, it was gonna like it's like Sonic has a bunch of like the little cups that you use for like the chicken and the onion rings and stuff, and that, I think they have pretty good. But Taco Bell probably is my favorite because I like fire sauce a lot. So
Okay.
give me the.
Do
give me
you
Taco Bell.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, hey, what do you want any sauce? And I say yes, fire,
Plus,
please.
You can get that beefy melt burrito now. It's got the flaming hot Fritos in it. You can replace the rice with potatoes. Get it grilled. What's up?
That sounds
I'm
that
just
sounds
making myself
delicious.
really hungry.
Uh-huh. Cane's
man.
sauce is actually very good as well from Raising Cane's. But
I
think
love
that's-
cane sauce. Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like it's probably just like ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together with a few other things.
No, that's
Most
that's
sauces
just Thousand Island.
are.
That's Thousand
Yeah.
Island.
well, Thousand Island. Yeah, it's Thousand
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah,
Casey.
Red Robin has campfire sauce. It's just barbecue and mayonnaise, but it
Mm.
rocks.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
make my own hot sauce all the time, and mine's better.
Yo,
I do.
yo.
Jesus.
Y'all ready for
Yeah.
another?
Okay.
Y'all ready for another like a Jan food thing? Because
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So
Yes.
what we do?
I know
Always.
Jan Fu. Sorry.
What we do? You take a little mason jar, right? Little boy, and then you
Wait, a little mason jar? I don't have a little mason jar the way you're pinching. What do you mean?
yeah, a little teensy mason jar for like
Like a baby food jar.
Yeah,
Okay, got
Right.
it, Roger.
I have
Sure.
no measurements here. Let's just do it in bar terms. You got 1 part vinegar, right? I already know this is up Grubb's alley. 1 part Vietnamese fish
on board.
sauce, okay? Don't get the
Okay.
Filipino stuff. You got to get 3 crabs, all right? 3 crab fish sauce. That's the shit right there. And then you
Okay.
add in a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of sesame oil. You got to make sure you're getting sesame oil from a tin, all right? From like a metal tin. And it's nothing but Korean on there. And then you have to kindly ask an old woman, is this sesame oil? And then she'll politely nod her head. And then you
Okay.
throw in an
Wow.
obscene amount
Love
of
this.
chili flakes. And I mean an obscene amount of chili flakes, all right? And then you crush 2 cloves of garlic. You don't mince it, you crush it, all right?
Oh,
This sounds so good.
And then you throw it in there, you let it sit, and then if you want to feel a little bit tinglier, add in a green onion. But then
All right.
you don't mince the green onions or cut them into little medallions. You just cut them into like 1-inch chunks. Let
where
that shit
are you
sit.
storing this? Like, where does it
In his
go?
body.
In a little
No.
mason jar.
And then does that need to be refrigerated? Like,
Of
what are we
course you
talking
can
about?
put it in the refrigerator.
Okay, okay.
What do you
okay.
and you put it on just everything?
Everything. It makes a great vinaigrette for a salad. You dip some meats in it.
Can you just make it for me
Send me
and
this
send
recipe.
it to me?
Yeah.
All right.
Or do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do that.
I'll sell little. I'll send little jars across the country.
You said
I think
sell
that's
first,
fine.
and then decided you weren't going to sell your friend's sauce.
No,
You can
no.
make them wedding favors if you ever get, like, ever one of those going on. Like, just give that to all your guests or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. People need to know that. No, we don't need to show the fish sauce. I'm a fish sauce connoisseur. Throw that shit in your scrambled eggs, by the way.
Oh, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Thank
It is
you.
the best.
Thank you, Bales. Thank you.
I love sesame.
Then-
So my sesame, you said sesame oil that I
Yes.
have in the glass bottle with like only half of the writing in Korean. I'm fucking up.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds like
he,
it.
He shook his head. Audio listeners, he shook his head, took off his
he
headphones and,
left.
walked
He
away.
was out
wasn't
of
gonna.
frame.
He wasn't gonna get up and show something, but then you said that, and he felt.
Yes,
he
and
knew
no,
it was.
I feel like
he
I've been
had
making a
to.
major mistake, and he's gonna correct some. He's gonna recorrect the trajectory of my life now.
He's
we
gonna.
put-
He's gonna change your world right
Yeah,
now.
that's what I need.
I want him to put his sauce on the store.
Sure,
I
Like, can
couldn't
we
find
do
it. I couldn't
that?
find it for
like
a
50
second.
bottles.
Yeah, it looks like this. Sorry, audio
Okay.
listeners,
Jesus,
just looks
yeah.
like this. It needs to
Okay.
look like there's like
Yes.
propane in here. This is the
yeah, like
jazz.
can with
oil.
Korean writing
Yeah.
on it. There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh god, just like, delicious. Also, eat kimchi every day. It's good, probiotics. Anyway,
Yeah.
Don't even know her.
next email comes from R. This is, I believe, about little gimmicks. I didn't completely read this.
Sure.
In Bombcast 801, Grubb mentioned playing Tears of the Kingdom while prepping his daughters for bed. This made me examine my own life. The results are unsettling. My kids are 6 and 3, similar to the ages to the mini Grubbs. There's no fucking way I could play a Switch at bedtime. My son and daughter are too feral. Instead, I listen to podcasts while bathing my children and putting them on their
Same.
pajamas. Stop the podcast while I'm reading stories. Then,
Same.
in case my daughter, the 3-year-old, resume the podcast while I lie on her bed and settle her down for sleep. Often, I listen to Gay Miss Mornings. This means that I have spent a lot of time lying in the dark, watching my darling little girl's eyes getting heavier, while in my ears, Grubb discusses Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. I've sensed her breathing getting slower while Grubb explains some Jim Ryan bullshit. I felt her hand on my face as she smiles a sleepy smile, and in the same moment, heard Grubb say the words, Bobby Kotick. My question is this. Is there anything in your lives that is vaguely pleasant, harmless, and banal, while also being the most fucked up, unhinged, real deep, sicko shit imaginable? Love you guys. Ireland for the Rugby World Cup. Let's go! R.
I feel like before we even get going on this, I want to know that the way you hesitated before saying banal made me confident you were about to say banal.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna say be anal.
Yeah, I don't do banal.
I was trying to figure
Wow,
out a way
Grubb.
how to pronounce it fun, like cup
This
on.
is such
Yeah.
a beautiful email.
Yeah.
So
Why-
gorgeously written, and so horrifying.
But what's the real deep sicko shit? Like I don't think
like
that's
having
sicko.
a touching moment with your children while I talk about Bobby Kotick is a little bit unhinged, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like sicko. Like I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's very similar, pretty much exact same, except replace listening to me with right now I'm listening to that American Prometheus, so I'm the book on tape for
this American
Oppenheimer.
Prometheus.
Just like Oppenheimer stuff. So it's like all
Mhm.
kinds of like really deep, troubling things while my children are falling asleep. So
Sure.
you know
sure.
what? It's fine. It's not that unhinged.
What do you mean you're listening to that while they are how does that work?
I have one bud in, and they are either taking a bath or I'm like getting all their stuff together to like take their vitamins before bed or brush their teeth. And basically, if I'm doing stuff around the house, I think it's like I just need that dopamine of like something keeping my brain engaged,
Sure.
so that I can get it done in a more efficient manner. So I'm listening to something like that while doing stuff that is like a daily routine. Anything that's daily routine, I'm trying
Got
to
it.
also have something else going on.
Yeah, because I feel like I couldn't get away with that now with my kid because he'd just be like, "What are you listening to? Like, what are you?"
Yeah. I think that's where, of course, the speaker hat helps out. Of course.
Oh,
You
sure.
Put on the speaker hat, and
Well,
they
that's
can
what
just
it was
hear
created
themselves.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, exactly. Handling that situation. But also, like, I have it so it's set so it's playing, but it's also in one ear, but it's also got the pass through, so it has a little like it's kind of like a hearing aid, so I can hear the book on tape or the podcast, and I can hear everything that's going on around me. So it's pretty seamless. Although everyone in my family has this terrible habit of like they'll want to talk to me, and then I'm like okay, and then as soon as they start talking to me, they're gonna walk away, and turn away, and keep talking.
Oh
and
my
I'm like, guys, you've got to talk to me. I can't. Like,
What is that?
I don't know. I don't
know.
It
But it makes me want to walk into traffic.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I will chase.
insane.
I will chase Stacy down and be like, "Why are you leaving?"
You wanted to talk to me. Just talk to me. That's my most said thing in the house right now is talk to me.
Yeah. Emmy has had full-on conversations with air or a stranger while I am like tying my shoes across the street, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, dog, what the hell?
Just look.
Your spatial awareness.
Now, I gotta admit, I mean, I've done that. I'm guilty of this every now and then too.
I've become more conscious of it, so I've
Yes,
cut it out.
No,
it forces
I'm not.
you to do that. Yes,
I'm incredibly socially and spatially aware at all times.
That's
I'm
pretty good,
constantly
Jan.
worried what everyone is thinking and making sure they're a good time. Total Libra, am I right?
Yeah.
That's
What
what I
about
was
you,
about to say.
What about you, Bailey?
What about me? Oh, I don't have children or anything
No,
cute
but
like that.
spatial awareness with your social activities.
Oh, my spatial awareness is really bad. I do multitask a lot. Like I think this caller is very impressive. This email guy is really impressive.
Yeah.
Because, doing multiple stuff at once. Last night, my biggest multitask was during a Baldur's Gate fight. I was playing Slay the Spire on my phone.
Oh my God, that's
my God.
Inception.
That
Yeah.
rules, actually.
Yeah, you're a
That's
smarter.
my life. I don't have kids. I'm doing this.
You're a smarter person than I am. Okay. But geez, my brain can't fathom it. I can barely host a podcast and read emails. Last email of the show is about everyone's favorite topic, food. Ash from Luton, England, writes in, "Hey bombers, maybe it'll be easier if I say Luton. There we go.
There
you go.
Luton.
It's Tuesday, isn't it? I'm Lucy James. Kermit the Frog here. Okay, after listening to episode 79 of the Dump Truck, Jeb announced that a pizza without cheese is not a pizza. I'm allergic to cheese, so I've not had a pizza with cheese on. But I was told by someone who lives in Italy that the first pizzas never had cheese on with it to begin with. It's called the marinara. So I want to ask.
Written. It's called the marinara.
Oh, it's
I
called.
think he pronounced it like the Italian person said it. It's called the marinara.
It's called the marinara.
Thank you for correcting me. It's called the marinara. So I want to ask Jeb if he would class this as a pizza if the Italians do. Ash from Luton, England.
What do the Italians know about pizza, right?
Yeah, and also clearly you've interviewed them all. I talked to
what's
one.
Berlusconi's got to say about this? I need to know Berlusconi's opinion.
The email reads, "I was told by someone who lives in Italy. That person could just be someone LARPing as an Italian. Maybe there's someone else, and they're
Maybe from Ohio.
yeah. Maybe it's
Got
just
lots
like
of
some
Italians.
freak from like Iowa or something. And then therefore they say that all pizzas. Come on, listen. I'm sorry that you're lactose intolerant. I am. Okay. Or allergic to
too.
cheese. I'm sorry.
I just eat the cheese pizza anyway. Be strong.
Well, I'm not encouraging you to do that, but I'm also here to tell you that my friend Ash, you've never had pizza and you can't because you're allergic, and I'm sorry. Maybe you should get some non-vegan cheese on a pizza or something like that. Maybe that'll help you be, not allergic. But like, come on, no one could tell me that like pizza without cheese is somehow still pizza. Like, okay, fine. It doesn't matter.
It feels like breadsticks that have been pre-marinated.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But,
Marinated
you know,
breadsticks.
Just muscle through your health issues and eat things that you're allergic to because a couple guys on a podcast told you to.
That's right.
The energy also, we're also cross-pollinating podcasts, and I feel a little icky about that. Number one.
Sure,
Number two, the energy behind what was said on the dump was that once Yes, once pizza does not have cheese, it is just like bread sauce, right? Like that's just essentially what it is. And
I do remember
stand by
listening to this
that.
conversation. I was in the parking lot to Medieval Times, and I was listening to you guys have this conversation. And in my head, because I was like, I'm dealing with the kids, I'm talking stuff about we're going in Medieval Times, and I'm listening to you guys. All this, I was trying to multitask, and I was failing. So in my head, what you were saying, I know this is not what you're saying, but I was gonna like make a bit about it when I came back, and then I forgot. But now you brought it up here. It's like something about it made it sound like you were saying there were too many Italians back. And I had that thought while I was walking into Medieval Times, and I just cracked up and made myself laugh. And I'm glad you reminded
Hidden
me of it.
agenda.
Yeah.
Who is better positioned to make that declaration than I? Okay, literally. I literally, come on, it is everywhere I look. Okay,
That's
so
fun stuff.
I think I'm okay to say that. I
Of
saw
course,
Vinny last
absolutely.
week. He agreed. Okay, so we're fine.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. You know, young Elmo gave me the Italian pass, so I'll also make this statement. You know, I'll back you
Cool.
up. Here.
Yeah, you're good.
Shouts out to Jesse. All right, that about does it for emails. We're not going to get to shout-outs yet because we're going to do all the programming reminders, the shout-outs, the plugs now and saying goodbye now because there's too many shout-outs. They did it again. Somehow there's 89 right now, but it's okay.
Oh my god.
There's a lot. What do we got going on this week, Grubb? We got Game S mornings popping off
That's
for
right.
the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'll probably find some more time for Mortal Kombat, but we played some yesterday. I'll probably get some more time somewhere along the line. We got some quick looks happening at some point as well.
You and Mike did a whole slew of quick looks. We did Disney Illusion Island, now on the site, Quake 2, 30XX. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that bad boy.
Yeah.
I think you guys. I think everyone would dig 30XX. It's
Okay.
roguelite, very good.
We have perhaps a B-Light Club going up tomorrow. Correct.
That's right.
Right.
Yes, that's right. I'm gonna figure something out. I think I had an idea, but I don't remember what now.
We will also have a voicemail dump truck with or without a yes, Mr. Beckler.
Oh no, finish that thought. My hand was up to not interrupt you.
With or without a funny wrestling man with a guitar, maybe not. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. Jeff Backlar, please. You had your hand raised.
We also, I think, and Jan can back me up on this. I think we fixed the Beastcast feed.
Yes.
I think we
Migrated
did.
and saved. Yep.
Like I looked at it the other day, this morning and last night, and it seemed to all be there. At least it was showing up in my Spotify because I listen to it all the way through once a week because that's just how much of a freak I am.
That's okay.
Yes, and we are aware that there's a nice chunk of legacy bombcasts that are missing as well, but you're just gonna have to be patient with that because it's a manual thing that needs
It's
to be
gonna be
done.
a manual process. It'll get fixed though.
Yeah, I've downloaded a good chunk of 2013.
Okay.
I'm thinking about where I was at in 2013.
Yeah,
Was I?
seriously. I think just to let everyone, we basically just changing around where we host the podcast. So it's a lot of back end work, but it's just so much better for us.
Yes.
So-
This one might give us money. Yeah.
This one might.
Woo! That's too inside baseball for the folks at home.
Oh, spicy
Need to-
meatballs. Sorry.
There are too many Italians. Yeah.
We will have an earlier UPF this week as well. I believe we will be checking out more Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer. I believe we'll be rolling at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It just works a little bit better for scheduling stuff and getting stuff done before and after later in the day. Bailey Meyers, where can folks find you?
I am Bailey versus Predator on Twitch, or Bailey Meyers on the app formerly known as Twitter, or just watch Honest Game trailers because I'm all over that shit. That's all I got. Yeah, we have the new ones out today. It's Aliens Dark Descent, and next week is going to be Baldur's Gate. I hear people like it.
There we go. Fantastic.
Bailey, you've helped us out so much lately. Thank you so much.
I'm happy
Yep,
to help.
crushing it.
It's fun for me.
Love having you around.
Yes, it's
I love
great.
coming
It's
here,
good times.
yelling at you guys that you're not real gamers, and then leaving.
Yeah.
It's my bit.
Oh, I'm
Are you
so
okay,
mad.
Jeff? Are you
No,
okay?
I'm not okay.
What happened?
So Jan's like, I was wondering where I was in 2013. So I went my Google Photos to look up where I was in 2013, and I was doing my movie-themed engagement photos, which went a little bit viral. And so I was like, oh, I want to find those. And so I have them somewhere, but the easiest way is just to Google it. And I Googled it, and I found someone did the exact same thing, but not just like the same idea, the exact same like movie posters with the exact same poses, like the Back to the Future one we
What?
did. Someone else did our stuff 2 years later, and then they got the same viral bump. I'm pissed. I'm mad.
Oh,
You should
that's
sue.
infuriating.
I'll find a way.
You should Nintendo sue
I'm
them.
getting-
That's
I'll
gimmick
cease and desist.
infringement.
Yeah.
One time I took a photo. I was watching every single Simpsons episode right in a row, and I took a photo of the screen during the Elon Musk episode, and I posted about it on Twitter, and it went viral. And then someone this year posted that again, my exact photo of my TV, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this just happened on The Simpsons!" Like stolen valor, motherfuckers!
Yeah.
Back off! It's my
Get the hell out.
television.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Grubb, I
people
can't
shouldn't be
believe you
allowed to
did
steal
this.
memes.
Oh,
We
did
have
you
to
find
patent them.
I'll post in the chat.
Bailey, you gotta see these.
Oh.
There it is.
And then
Oh.
these posers.
Yeah, right. These are my bad Photoshop skills from 2013.
You're so good. Look at you as ET. You're so cute.
Yeah.
You're in a
Yeah.
basket.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite one for sure.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Key
this
Jaws
is
is
really
really
good.
funny though. I'm just experiencing a lot right now.
There's more of these somewhere. This isn't all of them. I think there's a couple more.
I've
of it.
never seen the ghost one until now,
Yes.
and I'm a better person for it.
Oh my god, the Star Wars ones. Okay, these are very good. I'm very proud of you for these.
Can we put a link in the description so people don't get mad about not being able to see them or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
thanks.
This is gorge.
Good job. Good
Yeah,
job,
it
Grubb.
was fun.
Grubb, I need you to Slack me this so I can so I remember.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do. Yep.
All right, everybody. We've gone here to the shout out section. And the shout outs are now. Hey, there's a lot of the C word here, and I'm not gonna say it. You guys can't trick me. I Ron Burgundy this shit because I trust y'all, but not with the C word.
Nope.
Shout outs. Jan, you look great. I'm jealous of Jan's hair. Nancy Drew, Scoopa. Is Bailey smart or what?
Scopa.
Scopa.
See, she is smart.
Bailey staring right into the camera like she knows my past sins. All ghosts
I
can
do.
watch these hands. What is the email music? Electronic mail music. Oh, okay. I joined late. What have I missed? Quick, please me in. List them out, Jan. Weesa starting boys. C word. Let me cock to you. Yeah. Shouts out to Greasy Gale and Drow Dommy Mommy Minthara. Halson can suck it. Druids touch too much grass. South Park is funny as owning a giant Pikachu, building your own computer. Just do it. It's easier than you think. Should I play AC, or AC this year? Don't forget to pre-order 1989 Taylor's version on the Taylor Swift online store, out 10/27. The Outback Steakhouse. Just glaze. Bring
C
back
word.
the Shockmaster. I'm the milkman. My milk is delicious. It brings the boys to the yard. Jan, there was a wrestling D&D podcast made by AEW stars. Check out Critical Botch. Oh, okay. Hey, Nose. Fuck you. Hey, Nose, you have a friend who is verbally abusive to you. You don't have to take this anymore. The shout-out list is here for you. Jan, don't shave your head for free. Charge for that. Hi, am I on the air? Yep. Fuck. Thanks. Whacking off to Linkle. Genshin. Man, guys, they're just going to break me after. Genshin 4.0, baby. Fontaine time. Grubb, 24 check.
Yeah, he the president had got 25th Amendment and his wife is still messing stuff up pretty bad.
Does that mean he's not allowed to drink alcohol anymore? I can't remember what amendment
I
that
think
is.
so. Yeah, and I think he's not allowed to vote or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
oh, right.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Nose, I love you and value our friendship and will give you my litter. Jan Ochoa at Doctor Who on Instagram. I'm going to that Star Wars LARP hotel next month before it closes. Give me a good dumbass Star Wars name to use.
Fedgeberg. That's my name backwards. So there you go.
Oh,
Squirtle's the
Good
greatest
job.
Pokemon. It's a fact, not a feeling. Squirtle's the worst Pokemon ever created. Your mom is the worst Pokemon ever created.
got him.
Bulbasaur is the best Pokemon. It's number one for a reason. Pikachu is the best Pokemon because it's the John Cena of Pokemon. Gasolina by Daddy Yankee. Hey, Siri, text mom.
Good job. Way to cut it off.
Listen to Ween, the Steam Deck weekly reminder that Elon Musk is a stupid little turd. Elon Musk, more like tiny penis man. Oh, Tesla stock drops 200%. Read Chainsaw Man. Owl Bears in Flight, Afternoon Delight, Simsima. Maybe we should let Jan take Jan off easy this time. Stop here. Fuck that. Fuck you. That's fair. Jeff Bakakalar is moving out. Skate 4, Libras, am I right? I woke up in Soho doorway. A policeman knew my name. He said, you go to sleep at home tonight if you can get up and walk away. Thick puppies working too hard can give you a heart attack. Make GB trading cards. Hey Siri, order yellow jumpsuit. Shoutouts to Julia Roberts for passing The Blind Side. Dodge bullet, J-Dog, proud of you. My teacher made me watch The Blind Side over The Princess fucking Bride for making the honor roll while we were all slackers got to watch a masterpiece. I would eat a turd for $125K a year, and I'm a doctor. The Beast Incarnate, Widow Block Wesner, PSA grade Tental Kodo foot card, the Scratch and Sniff, Big Dump Energy. Word on the street is Jonah Falcon is attending Gamescom. You know what to do, friendos. Who's Jonah Falcon? Is this another inside joke? He has another weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Giant dildos. It's all starting on September 2022. Speaking of September, do you remember the 21st night of September?
Good.
Fez
That's
2.
good.
Jan for taking us straight to Flavortown. Finn, Fang, Foom. That's a cool dragon man from Iron Fist comics. Huh. I always thought he was Iron Man villain cause Mandarin. Oh, you know what? Turns out the Iron Fist dragon is a different dragon named Shu Lao. I've been wrong this whole time. Thanks for teaching me something new today. Why did you have to mention Slay the Spire? I downloaded it again and have to play this entire podcast. Damn you all to hell. It's been boob days since 9/11. 8,008 boobs. What a national tragedy. I walked through the blood and the bones trying to find my brother. He was somewhere in North Canada suckling on the PP like aku till I baka. 89 is the C word. And that's been the Giant Bombcast. I've been Jan. He's been Jeff. He's also been Jeff. I think I'm finally broken. She's Bailey.
That's not easy, man. But I gotta say, you made your own fucking bed.
We're gonna stop this at 50.
You did
all right,
great.
We're capping this at 50 now. Okay,
hard cap.
So squabble amongst yourselves.
This is like the
To figure out the
9/11
50.
of shoutouts.
Oh my God.
I can't wait till it's been boob days since this podcast.
Okay. All right. This has been the Giant Bombcast, episode 802. I'm thankful for you. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. Programming reminder again. Hey, we'll see you at PAX. All right. September 1st, September 2nd, September 1st, 8 p.m. And then the Giant Bomb voicemail dump truck panel, September 2nd, rolling off at the Blue Jay Theater at 5. And, you know, shenanigans abound. We'll be making lots of content. Comic-Con video coming soon. Some funny
I'll make a bag of
shenanigans.
swag and just throw it in the audience. So
Hey,
there you go.
Backlar, can
That's
I
cool.
can I go buy a bucket of chicken and throw it into the audience? All right, cool. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Oops, there we go.
Man. People love cum.
You'll love it.
No,
Can't get enough of
the
this
mics are
stuff.
still on. We can still hear you.
Jonah
said we
Falcon's
wanted-
dick is how big?
We said we weren't saying the C word anymore. We're gonna fade the black.